Good morning, Vietnam. Or good afternoon, wherever the hell you are. We're just a little before 1 p.m. Eastern, so if you're in Braves country, you may be having lunch, or if you're a little earlier over in Central Time Zone or a little further west, then fair enough. But regardless, this is coming to you live if you're a Country Club member on YouTube. Today, we are putting it on Facebook. We won't do that very often, but we just wanted to sprinkle it in over here. If you want to catch it live every single time, become a Country Club member on YouTube. Just 10 cents a day. So we're going to make these short and sweet going forward because we don't look – unless there's a big issue, I really think we're going to try to keep these to 15, 20 minutes. I have a tendency to ramble on if I don't have it cut off, so we're going to keep it to around 20 minutes today. Not a whole lot to get into, but I do want to go over what happened in the Philadelphia series. I think they showed a lot of grit, a lot of – look, let's be honest, a lot that I don't think a lot of Braves fans thought that they had in them. I think a lot of Braves fans were kind of under the impression this team was laying over and playing dead, and they took 2 of 3 at home. Granted, they were low-scoring games. It was the pitching that got it done for Atlanta, but it's been like that all year long. I see a lot of fans. We see it in our chats. I see it on social media. I see it everywhere. And you will get the idea from them that we have this terrible pitching staff, that we have this terrible bullpen. And look, the numbers do not support that. I also realize, too, a lot of fans only watch their team in a vacuum. And so when they see their bullpen give up a few runs in a game, they think it's just astronomically insane that can even happen. Well, the fact of the matter is, if you watch other teams throughout the year, I watch a lot of baseball outside the Atlanta Braves because I want to know what the hell I'm talking about. I don't want to just look through rose-colored glasses. And bullpens, game after game after game, get rocked throughout the league, and the Braves have been pretty darn good. Yeah, we've given up our share of runs, but all in all, when you look at the rankings and the fact that, look, we're ranked third right now, but we're just barely in third. We've been rocking second the entire year. That West Coast trip, those runs given up in Colorado, that sunk us a little bit, but I do believe we'll finish the year in second. Cleveland just started out at such an unbelievable low ERA. There's just no way you're going to catch them. I mean, they would literally have to get smoked the entire month of September for Atlanta to overtake them in the bullpen. Our bullpen is lights out. Even with A.J. Minter being gone, and he's gone. He's done for the season. After they announced it, what was it, yesterday? Hip surgery. There's no window where he could possibly be back at some point in the playoffs. He is done. He's cooked. So what does that look like with the bullpen? Well, I still think we're really damn good. You've got, obviously, in my opinion, our best lefty in the bullpen at this point is Dylan Lee. I was very surprised. I was very vocal about it last night. I felt like that late in the game there, he should have been the guy that was called in to be brought in. They didn't do that. They did not do that. They ended up sticking with Pierce Johnson. They got out of it, but it was an incredible double play turned by Gio Urshela. By the way, Gio Urshela, what the hell, man? This guy's been a godsend. Him and Whit Merrifield, you got to think about the chemistry of a double play combo. So third, short, second. And Gio is fit right in perfectly defensively over at third base, which I've always heard that he was a very good defensive third baseman. He was terrible at second. And the reason why the Yankees eventually got rid of him was because they had some dinosaur over there playing third by the name of Josh Donaldson, and they wanted his bat in the line. Well, that backfired, but that's not the point of this show today. Gio Urshela has been phenomenal. Now, he's 32 years old. He's never going to hit well. Once you're 32 and your lifetime batting average is down in the low 200s, that's who you are. That's who you are. But that's okay, because he's just got to spell it until Austin Riley can come back. And really, I talked about this earlier in, I think it was the last show, but the idea that Ozzie Albies could be back at the beginning of September, you could slide Whit Merrifield over to third. Whit Merrifield has played third. You could do a combo of the two. The odd man out at that time, at that point, I believe, will be Luke Williams. And I love Luke Williams. I love what he does for the team. He plays a solid glove. He's got good speed. He's a good base runner, but that's all he brings to the table. He doesn't bring you a bat. How about Adam Duvall coming out of his mind and going 3 for 3? This is a guy who's been hit 177. He's hitting 177 for the year. Comes out last night after been sitting on the bench for how long? And goes 3 for 3 with a home run. And if Schwellenbach had not come through with just an incredible performance, we would have given him being Duvall, the game ball. I mean, it was very impressive, but you had to give it to Schwellenbach. Schwell went out there and shoved once again. What was it? 6 2/3 and 9 strikeouts, I believe. I don't have it in front of me. I'm pretty sure that's where it was. And look, I'm with you, Beeve, I guess we'll call you. I've always liked Duvall. I'm a big Duvall fan. How the hell can I not be? I live in Duval County, right? So you want to pull for him. Plus, he's been so big over the years. He's done. He's not who he used to be. But I like the idea of having him on our bench. I really do. I think he can still go out there and play a very good outfield wherever you want to put him in. In a pinch, he can still play center. And I like the idea that as a right-handed power hitter, though he hits for a low average nowadays. He's lost the speed on his bat. It happens when you get that you get older. But I still like the idea of having him on the team. And so when Ozzie comes back, I like the idea of having all the outfielders that we have on the team and adding Ozzie obviously back to the lineup. He would go to second, and I would prefer them to keep Gio Urshela because you got enough outfielders where you don't need a guy like Luke Williams who can play several different positions. And you've got him for defense. You've got him. Look, he came with a big double last night, hit it down the left field line. It was a ground rule double, or that would have been a 2 RBI. But looking at the team right now, and Beav was asking about AJ Minter and where he is on his contract. He is an unrestricted free agent in 2025. So I think they would like to bring him back. But at the same token, do we get a hometown discount, or is he going to want that one big splash? They avoided arbitration last year and paid him $6.2 million. He's going to want to command. Look, AJ Minter is an elite back of the bullpen guy. So for them to retain him, I think it's going to be difficult because they've got other spots that they want to fill. And they've got other guys that are coming into their own. And when you talk about the Atlanta Braves and you talk about that bullpen, even with the injury to A.J. Minter, they have got a lights-out bullpen. And Iglesias, I don't think he's getting enough love nationally. I really don't. I believe that I don't know how, but he's being slept on. He's been phenomenal. I hate bragging about it because I feel like that then you put too many expectations on it, and then if he falters, the fans are going to go, oh well, there he sucks, because we know how fans are. Fans fan, but he has been phenomenal. Last night he came in, boom, boom, boom. Remember last year he was usually struggling through closes. He normally got it. He normally got the close. This year, man, he has been locked and loaded. But looking at who we have in the bullpen right now, you're looking at, as far as lefties go, you got Bummer and you got Lee. And that's it. So come playoff time, I think they would like to have a third left-hander, but who are we going to push in there? Look, you don't necessarily have to have 3 left-handers. It's just nice to have. So if you have Bummer in the front and Lee in the back, you've got guys, not only Iglesias and not only Joe Jimenez, who's pitched pretty well. He's had his hiccups, but he's pitched pretty well. Jesse Chavez, I don't believe he's a guy they're necessarily going to want on the playoff roster. They're probably going to put more starting pitchers on there. But Jesse Chavez, in a pinch, can get things done. If Luke Jackson doesn't clean things up, he won't be on the playoff roster. I think you can guarantee, assuming we make the playoffs, you can guarantee who will be on the playoff roster in that bullpen. It's going to be Iglesias. It's going to be Lee. It's going to be Bummer, Pierce Johnson, Joe Jimenez, Grant Holmes. Grant Holmes has been phenomenal. And I'm telling you, he is a very underrated secret weapon that the Braves could have in October. A guy then come out of the bullpen and fire 2 or 3 shutout innings to either bridge you to the back end or to possibly clean up a mistake of the starting pitcher. That's enormous. Most teams never have that. And so that's where we're at on that. It's being assumed. I see the question from Beav about Soler and Travis. They believe that Soler is back in the lineup tonight, and most people believe Travis has a good chance, but they're going to have to go through the typical tests and stuff. What do we got here? Lee says the team is freaking great. It's just the key guys that are out there. Yeah, Lee, look, the injuries suck. And look, I'm not going to give you that same tired old line as every team goes through injuries. We have been decimated by injuries this year. I thought we'd been through injuries before. This has just been unruly. When you consider, I mean, I was joking about it was either last night's broadcast or the night before during the game, just talking about the fact that we lead the last wild card, and you look at the lineup, and it's a mash unit. I mean, we've got guys out there. We had Laureano in right field. That should be Ronald Acuna Jr. We had last night. We had Duvall in left field. That should be Jorge Soler. At second base, we have Merrifield. That should be Ozzie Albies. We had Urshela at third base. That should be Austin Riley. Sean Murphy behind the plate. The way he's been hitting the ball, that should be Travis d'Arnaud. Hell, let's be honest, that should be William Contreras, but that's another argument. So, and hey, not to mention the fact we had Schwellenbach on the mound, and he was great. But somewhere in that series, it should have been Spencer Strider. So we've just been absolutely crushed by injuries this year. This team has showed some grit. I felt like about a month ago they kind of looked like they were going through the motions, and you didn't like that at all. They were kind of going through the motions, and sometimes it's easy to get your dauber in the dirt. You get gut punched so many times, you're like, my God, and the offense wasn't doing anything. The offense seems to be cleaning itself up. We're not going to get back to last year's ridiculous numbers, but we don't need that, not with this pitching staff. We just need to go out there and have an honest chance to score about 5 runs a game. And if we can score 5 runs a game with this pitching staff, you're going to win a hell of a lot more games than you're going to lose. The starting rotation has been phenomenal. The bullpen has been, I would not take any, and you can make this argument if you want against it. Have at it. There is not a pitching staff in baseball today that I would rather have than the Atlanta Braves. And I'm talking about the starting rotation with the bullpen. There's not a single one. Cleveland has a phenomenal bullpen, and they've been really good, and I'm not going to knock their bullpen. And maybe they're a touch better than the Braves. But I would rather have our starters than Cleveland starters, and Cleveland starters are not shabby. So, and I get it, the Phillies going to tell you, well, they have this great starting pitching. Their bullpen is not lights out. The Braves pitching staff is the best in baseball. We just need the offense to show up. I think it might be.
That is not true.
I know this is going to sound weird, but stick with me for a second. The struggles of the offense might help us in October. And the reason why I say that is the last couple of years, we've gotten October, we were flat, right? And look, playing in the first round may help us as well, but put that aside. That's already been assumed by a lot of people, and that's why I've been telling you forever. I kind of want to go the wild card route. I'm no longer worried about the division crown. If we get it, we get it. That's great. What I would more interested in, is getting the top wild card so you're playing at home. Now, that's not happening right now, but look, Padres lost one last night. We're now 3.5 out between them and Arizona, and what the Mets are a 1.5 out. But we just have to keep winning, and we'll keep scoreboard watching. But it's going to be hard to thread that needle to hope that we can. When you got the Mets and you got the Padres playing each other, I'm really more concerned about the team that's right behind us than trying to catch the team 3 games in front of us. So I am pulling for the Padres to win the rest of that series so we can get a buffer, some breathing room. But back to the whole thing, why I say that the offense why we may benefit from this. So the last 2 years when we fell flat in the playoffs, we had the week off, or almost a week off. Then we got in the playoffs, and we started hitting the first couple of games, and the offense is nowhere to be found. It's dead. They're grinding. They can't get any runs. They're all swinging for the seats, blah, blah, blah. 2 early exits. This year, the mentality has had to be different because they've had to work so hard to get runs. And so this year, there may be something to the fact that because they have a less explosive offense, if we go cold in the playoffs, it's not the end of the world. You're going to find guys like Merrifield, guys like Kelnick who are dropping bunts down, trying to find their way aboard. taking that extra base, going first to third, not sitting there waiting for the 3-run home run, that may make us a little more difficult to beat, especially when you couple it with the best pitching staff in baseball right now. We just got to stay healthy. That pitching staff, I mean, we cannot take any more of these big hits. We might get a bumper bruise here, skip a start as we come down the stretch, but I'm talking about any more devastating injuries. Because if you look at it right now, how I would start the playoffs right now today, you'd say, well, who's your 1, 2, and 3 guys in the starting rotation? I think you have to go Chris Sale, and then you're probably, unless it's a matchup thing, you're going Max Fried and then Raylo. But if for some reason the team you're playing, you want them to have to deal with the right-hander, then you would go Raylo and Max Fried. Either way, you can't go wrong. And then the number 4 starter right now has got to be Schwellenbach. There's just no way in hell I'm putting Charlie Morton out there. Charlie Morton's going to go in my bullpen, and he's going to be a hell of a bridge. If you got Charlie Morton and you have Grant Holmes in that bullpen, you got 2 guys that can spell it. What is Lee saying? They went hard all season 2 years in a row. Yeah. So, but it's more to the point that we may not even be rocking and rolling with our offense in the first round, Lee. It's more to me the fact that because we all year long we've had to struggle and fight to get runs. That's going to make us a little more playoff ready. Because last year we broke all kinds of records. The year before, our offense was phenomenal. And I can tell you from calling the games night in, night out by every inning, there was a different feel the last couple of years. I mean, look, we were spoiled. The home run clips and all the stuff that we do during the home runs and all that stuff. And man, we were wearing out the board last couple of years. This year, there have been games where I'm like, man, this game is just not only is it being quick because of no offense, it's been quiet because they're not getting on base. But they've scraped out some of those wins. You look at the wins that they got against Philadelphia this week, none of them did the Atlanta Braves go out there and just go bonkers. It was all pitching all the time. This team is more built like the team in the 90s than they were of the team that won in 21. The team that won in 21, the offense got extremely hot. Remember by the time we got to the back end of the World Series, we had 2 starting pitchers. We had 2 bullpen games there that we ran in the World Series. But this year, what did we score? A total of 8 runs in 3 games? 8 runs in 3 games. And the Phillies scored 6 runs. So it was that close of a series. The winning team scored 3 runs in each game. I just think that when we get to the playoffs, just be prepared for them to have to possibly score 4, 5, 6 runs to win a game. But I believe that the offense is going to be good enough. I think the offense is going to be good. You're only going to have to scrape out about, like I said, 5 to 6 runs a game. You're going to be in very good shape. You score 4 runs any given night, you're usually going to win with this pitching staff. It's very rare nowadays that the Braves give up a ton of runs. I'm looking at their finals. You put the West Coast trip aside, there's very few crooked numbers that come across the scoreboard. When they are giving up runs, it's usually 1 run here or there in an inning, maybe 2, but you don't have the 3, the 4, the 5 spots, and that'll be key. All right, this weekend, talk about this real quick, and then we'll jam out of here. This weekend, we've got a 3-game set at home against Washington, and it's going to be a critical series, I believe, and the reason why I say that is you come off that big win against Philadelphia. So you win 2 out of 3 of Philadelphia, 2 out of 3 against the Angels, 3 out of 4 against the Giants. We've won 3 consecutive series. You can't go out there and lay an egg against Washington. And Washington, I see the Beef saying we should dominate. Yeah, got to see that to believe it, Beef. Washington, remember, they've had our number this year. And there was a point where Washington was really playing good baseball. They were in the wild card race. Not so much this year. I mean, not so much the last couple of months, but when we were playing, last time we played them was the beginning of June, and they were still playing really good baseball. Remember, the series in Washington, they won 3 of 4, and they took the last 3. Then we had a 4-game series in Atlanta, and Washington won 3 of 4 there. They have dominated the season series with us. They've won 6 of 8. 6 of 8. So when you look at this series, the nuts and bolts of it is this. Tonight, we've got the major advantage with Chris Sale. But you still got to go out there and score runs. Chris Sale versus Mackenzie Gore. Mackenzie Gore is a good young pitcher, but he has his moments where he implodes. There are games where he looks like a great young up-and-coming pitcher. There are other games that he goes out there and he gets knocked out early. We'll do more of that on as the game begins tonight. But then tomorrow, it's Morton versus Irvin. That is a true toss-up. If we get the Charlie Morton that showed up the last couple of times out, we're going to be okay. But Jake Irvin has pitched really well this year. He has pitched extremely well against the Atlanta Braves. And then the other one, the final one, is Lopez versus DJ Hertz. And DJ Hertz, who hasn't had a great year, young kid, but he came out and shoved against the Braves. One of his better outings all year long was against the Braves. So you hope the second time around, you see him again, you got the home field advantage. You would hope that you would win the series, but it's not a given. None of these games are given. And then we've got a tough road trip next week. We go on the road for 7 at Minnesota, who's an American League playoff contender right now, and then at Philadelphia for 4. We know how tough that's going to be. So I would think that the Braves are going to win the series. I'm going to take them to win the series. But tonight's key, because if you drop the first game, then it's anybody's bag. When Chris Sale goes on the mound at home, we should win that every damn time, the way he's been pitching. It's also important, too, for Chris Sale to go out and put up some good numbers tonight, because right now he's the front runner for the Cy Young. I'd really like to see Sale get the Cy Young. It would be really cool to see him do that, because he's been through so many injury issues over the last several years, and it would just be phenomenal for him to go out and turn it all around and get the Cy Young. Be a lot of fun to see that. He is, right now, I believe, the best left-hander in baseball. And I don't care about Tarek Skubal. I've watched Tarek Skubal. He's really good. But Tarek Skubal's not doing these in big games. Tarek Skubal's team, the Tigers, they're out of it. He's just going out there throwing up big numbers. Chris Sale is in a pennant race, in a wild card race, a playoff race, what have you. And he's out there doing it every night. So right now, to me, Chris Sale's the best left-hander in baseball. I want to see him finish strong so he does get the Cy Young. The problem with this, he is not set up to face the Phillies next week either. They had a chance to massage the schedule. They didn't do it. So I still think that's intentional. I don't think the Braves want Philly to see Chris Sale, because if we run into them in October, they only saw him on opening day. That's a long time ago. The less times that Philadelphia sees who should be our game one starter, the better it will be for Sale. So what does it say? Why do the Braves play at 12:05 on Sunday? It is because it's the Roku game of the week, Robert. That's been going on all year. Roku signed a deal with Major League Baseball this year. If you remember last year, they had the Peacock games that were 11:35. Well, Roku has adjusted that, and most of their games come on at 12:05. They pay extra to be the first game on Sunday, and it's a rotating deal, so that's why it's the Braves' turn. We had one other this year that I actually think the one earlier this year. It was actually 11:35. But we've had one other early game this year. But yeah, 12:05, the Roku deal. So if you don't have Roku, you're going to have to get it. It's free on Roku. So if you have a Roku, whatever, whether it's a Roku Smart TV, a Roku box, a Roku, whatever, but you have to have Roku to be able to see it. That's the way all these sports are going. All these streaming sports are, what was it? Friday night, opening week of the NFL. You're going to have to Peacock to watch. I think it's the Packers and somebody. So you got your traditional Thursday night game that kicks off the season. Well, now this year there's a Friday night game. So you got Thursday and Friday night football the first week of the NFL season. And it's just going to continue. I mean, the NFL is just basically selling their soul left and right. So that anyone that comes up to the table, puts several $1 million on the table, they'll give them a random game, and you have to have that device. And I don't believe, it's not going to do you any good if you got the NFL package, which pisses off a lot of folks that spend all the money for the NFL package. That's not going to get you the Thursday night Amazon games. That's not going to get you the Friday night Peacock game. And it's insane. It's insane what they're doing, and baseball's slowly doing that as well. I don't love it, but they're not putting the toothpaste back in the bottle. They're doing the same thing with college football. You name the sport, they're doing it. The only ones they don't do it in are the sports that nobody's going to go run. In other words, like, no one's going to go get 7 different devices to make sure that they see the WNBA or an MLS game. They're just not going to do it. They're like, screw it, I guess I won't watch it. So those sports are staying in their lane and making sure that if you're with ESPN or whoever, you can see all the games. But all the other major sports, the ones that are really popular, they are all doing it. So get used to it. Yeah, I'm going to take, if I was to guess, because I would never predict a sweep. They're too difficult to get. I would love a sweep, but it's just not commonly done. I think Braves had the upper hand tonight with Sale. I think they've got the upper hand on Sunday. The big question will be what Charlie Morton do we get on Saturday? So there you have it. All right, I'm going to get out of here and see y'all tonight. First pitch. It's traditional first pitch. It's back to normal, 7:20. Remember, next week when we're on the road, all kinds of goofy starts. You got 7:40 while we're in Minnesota every night. And then in Philadelphia, 6:40 twice, 7:15 on Saturday, and 7 o'clock on Sunday, because Saturday, Labor Day weekend, the Philly game is the Fox game of the week. The Sunday game is the ESPN game of the week. And if you missed it, you know how we normally do the chat on Sundays and the broadcast on Saturdays? Next week for Philadelphia series, we're going to do the chat on Saturday because it's the beginning of college football season, and we kind of figure there's going to be just more people locked into that. We'll put the chat up, but then Sunday we're going to bring you the game because it's ESPN. And long story short, folks have told us for a while that if it's possible, please do as many ESPN games as you can. And the main reason they just don't like the broadcast team. And I'll be honest, I don't want to sit here and slam folks that can't defend themselves. I'm not a fan of ESPN's broadcast experience either. But luckily, because it's Labor Day, I don't have to be up at the crack of ass on Monday morning on Labor Day itself. So I'm going to do the Labor Day night, Sunday night, Labor Day, however you want to word it. All right, y'all. Good luck. And see VT saying go Hokies. VT, remember tomorrow, 8:30, Saturday morning, 8:30 to 10, our college football show begins. We'll have all the guys back, all the armchair QBs, cover country, but it's going to be right here on Braves Country Radio. We might simulcast from time to time on cover country, but it will be on Braves Country Radio all season long, 8:30 to 10 all season long. You got college football kicking off tomorrow. Of course, it goes into full swing next weekend. Tomorrow's the big game over in Ireland. We'll be covering that. We're going to do our year-long picks tomorrow. We're going to be doing our picks against the spread that we always do. So if you do any college football, NFL gambling, we're gonna be the place that you want to go to on Saturday mornings, because the other shows don't do it. And if you wonder what the hell this is on my finger, I'm a chef. I cut myself today because I dropped something all over me. And long story short, I went to grab something. So yeah, there you go. So there you go, guys. That's exactly what I said to one of my cohorts at work as I was leaving. I said, I got to go talk Braves, and I just flipped the rubber finger, whatever I don't know. It's some. We were out of Band-Aids, so I had to put this thing together. We'll see you. Have a great day, y'all.
Drink like me, you can't smoke like me. So don't try and be like me. Let's party together.
There's something kind of about a kid that's never played baseball.
Baseball is a beautiful thing. It's more beautiful in an old park. It's asymmetrical and quirky. But even in a dome with artificial turf, it's beautiful. The way the field fans out, the choreography of the sport, the pace and rhythm of it, the fact that pace and rhythm allows for conversation and reflection and opinion and comparison.
In right field, the crowd is tormenting Strawberries, singing Darryl, Darryl. Little roller up along first, behind the bag. It gets through Buckner. Here comes Knight, and the Mets win. And there's a fly ball deep to left. It's on its way. There it goes. And the Yankees are going to the World Series. Aaron Boone.
Ground ball stabbed by Folk. He has it. He underhands to first for the first time in 86 years. The Red Sox have won baseball world championship. Can you believe it?
It's a pastime, something you do. It's entertainment, something you watch, and it's a shared experience, something you talk about and read about. But you can apply those same three criteria to other things. What makes baseball special is that it's the best game that's ever been devised.
Smith corks one into right, down the line. It may go. Go crazy, folks. Go crazy.
Sure as God made green apples, someday the Chicago Cubs are going to be in the World Series.
A little bouncer slowly toward Bryant. He will glove it in front of Rizzo. It's in time. And the Chicago Cubs win the World Series. Cubs win. What a lucky break. The good Lord wants the Cubs to win.
How can you not be romantic about baseball?
If baseball is about caring, about loyalty and rivalry.
Braves fans are on their feet hoping for some kind of a bleeder or a seeing-eye single. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Fastball hit high and deep down the right field line. It's going back, back, back. Is it fair? Is it zip, boom, bam, it's gone. Ram-a-lam-a ding dong, a 3-run shot, and your Atlanta Braves have taken a 1-1 lead. She's gone, baby!
There's a very peaceful thing. It was created and played in pastures and meadows. There's grass, there's outdoors, there's everything that people thought was American and feel about America. You get in a ballpark. And it's the wonder of walking through that dark tunnel and seeing a huge open space where men play the little boy's game.
I believe in the Church of Baseball. I've tried all the major religions and most of the minor ones. I know things. For instance, there are 108 beads in a Catholic rosary and there are 108 stitches in a baseball. I prefer metaphysics to theology. You see, there's no guilt in baseball, and it's never boring. It's a long season and you gotta trust it. I've tried them all, I really have. And the only church that truly feeds the soul day in, day out is the Church of Baseball.
High fly ball into right field. She is
You're in Braves country.
If there's a bigger thing going on right now, I don't know what it is. We're down to one strike here. Gurriel, the last hope for the Houston Astros. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Swung on, bounced over to Dansby. Dansby fires it over to first, and here comes the dog pile. Fire the cannons in the battery. Do the chop all throughout Braves country. Pop that top. Your Atlanta Braves have won it all.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Play ball!
On a beer? 7 o'clock in the morning. Scotch?
Hey, howdy, hi, and how the hell are you? Pull up an armchair, girls and boys, and join us for Braves Country Baseball. You're listening live, and the scene is Truist Park in Atlanta, Georgia, where we're set to bring you pitch-by-pitch, play-by-play of your Atlanta Braves. Hi, I'm Mac Magee. Here are your starting lineups for today's action. Testing 1, 2, 3. Leading off and playing right field for the Washington Nationals, it's Alex Call. 3 home runs, 14 RBI, 5 stolen bases, batting .347. Batting second, playing left, the rookie James Wood. 5 home runs, 30 RBI, 7 stolen bases, batting .289. Yepes is playing first base with 4 home runs, 20 RBI, 2 stolen bases, batting .278. Ruiz is batting cleanup with 12 home runs behind home plate. He has 46 RBI, 1 stolen base, batting .229. Chaparro is the designated hitter and batting fifth. 1 RBI, 276 average through 29 at-bats. Vargas is playing second. 1 home run, 26 RBI, 8 stolen bases, batting .250. Tena is at third and batting seventh. 4 RBI, 1 stolen base, batting .355. Young is in center field and batting eighth. 2 home runs, 28 RBI, 29 stolen bases, batting .248. And Nunez is at short and batting ninth. He's got a .273 average through 22 at-bats with 4 stolen bases. On the mound for the Washington Nationals, it's Mackenzie Gore. The youngster, southpaw, is 7-11 with a 4.66 ERA. A 1.58 whip, 125 innings, 145 hits allowed, 136 strikeouts, 54 walks, 11 home runs. He'll be going head-to-head with Chris Sale. The conductor is 14-3 with a 2.62 ERA and a shiny 1.00 whip. 140 innings pitched, 108 hits allowed, 187 strikeouts to 32 walks and just 8 home runs served. Backing up Chris Sale in the bottom of the first inning and patrolling center field for your Atlanta Braves, it's Michael Harris II. 6 home runs, 27 RBI, 8 stolen bases, batting .248. Batting second and back in right field, it's Jorge Soler. 16 home runs, 51 RBI, 1 stolen base, batting .243. Batting third, the designated hitter, Marcell Ozuna. 37 home runs, 94 RBI, a .308 clip. Batting cleanup and manning first, it's Big Matt Olson. 21 home runs, 64 RBI, a .227 average. Laureano is batting fifth and in left field. 7 home runs, 16 RBI, 4 stolen bases, batting .227. Whit Merrifield is batting sixth and playing second. 4 home runs, 13 RBI, 16 stolen bases, batting .216. Sean Murphy batting seventh behind home plate. 7 home runs, 16 RBI. He's got a .224 average. Gio Urshela is batting eighth and playing third. A .245 average, 5 home runs, 39 RBI. And Orlando Arcia is batting ninth and playing short. He's got 12 home runs, 36 RBI, a .224 clip. Calling balls and strikes behind home plate tonight, it's Adrian Johnson. Your first base umpire is John Bacon. Second base will be manned by Ramon De Jesus, and down the third base line, it's Quinn Walcott. Game time temperatures here at Truist Park in Atlanta, Georgia, are at 82 degrees, with the wind blowing slightly out from left to right field at 9 miles an hour. Your Atlanta Braves come in 9 games over 500, 1.5 up on the New York Metropolitans in the wild card standings. They're 6 back in the NL East. Washington Nationals are 58-70 on the year. Your Atlanta Braves are 34-27 at home. The Nats 28-37 on the road. Atlanta comes into tonight minus 255 on the money line. The over-under is 7.5. We'd like to thank all the Country Club members for helping support the channel. Please become a Country Club member today. And if you haven't already, smash that like and subscribe to Braves Country Radio. Well, it's about that time. Grab you a cold one. Find you an armchair. It's Braves Nationals. Game 1 of a 3-game set. Braves coming off that big series win against the Philadelphia Phillies, looking to keep that momentum going. Our pick to click tonight, coming off the IL. Our pick to click tonight, after several days of rest, is Jorge Soler. He's 1 for 2 lifetime against Mackenzie Gore with a home run and 2 RBI. Keep an eye on Ozuna, who's 5 for 12 with a home run. Whit Merrifield, 2 for 4 in his own right. Gio Urshela is 1 for 2 as well. Orlando Arcia batting ninth tonight. He is 0 for 10 against Gore. Maybe he's due. We're going to take the Atlanta Braves to win this one, get some runs on the board. Let's take your Atlanta Braves. With football season starting tomorrow, we'll take a football score. Atlanta 10, Washington 3. We've got the conductor emoji kicking in the chat for you Country Club members. Remember, tomorrow morning, Country Club, 8:30 a.m. to 10 a.m. Cover Country is back from Armchair Quarterback Radio. If you miss it live, you can catch the replay. It will drop instantly after the show ends. Warm up those chop arms, Country Club members. In Braves Country, get your game face on. This is no time to take any game for granted. It's alumni weekend, so we may have a slight delay as we get ready for Game 1. Bravos, Nats.
Get this bus moving.
Stop.
Come back.
Too late.
Roll call! Yeah, roll call!
You're in Braves country.
Get this bus moving.
Stop.
Come back.
Too late.
Roll call. Yeah. Roll call.
You're in Braves country.
Good evening, Braves country. Hope y'all are having a great Friday night. We're just about set for pitch by pitch. Play-by-play of your Atlanta Braves. Let's take a look at who we got kicking in the chat tonight. Good evening, GOAT Country Club member. Looks like he gifted a membership to Damien, so Damien, welcome in. Welcome to the Country Club, Damien. Via the GOAT. Good evening, Country Club member Nathaniel Brooks. We got Gary McCoy, TB, NVCP, whatever you want to call it. We've got, who else do we have here? Edward Spry, Grateful. We've got, I said Nathaniel Brooks, David S., AY. AY gifted by the Beavs, so we got to find that thing again. I didn't see it in the second one. There we go. Billy Sanford, Country Club member. We've got, who else do we have in here on the Country Club? And then I'll rattle off the rest. I'm assuming Gary, the real McCoy, is in here. And then let's see who we have. The Braves are starting to warm up, so we didn't have the delay I thought we might have. Good evening, Quinn. Brian. John. Bean. John Morgan, Darryl Little. If I miss a few, just put it back in because I'm going through scrolling pretty quickly. Tim, good to see you. I think I got everybody. But if I didn't, like I said, just jump in back into the chat, give a shout out. We're just about set for pitch by pitch, play by play of your Atlanta Braves. Let's get it.
You're in Braves country.
Braves are in their home reds. As weird, first pitch on the way is a ball from Chris Sale to the right-handed bat of Alec Call. It's 1-0. The 1-0 kicks and fires. 96 inside, just misses. 2-0. So a 2-0 count. Oh, he called that a strike. Okay, fair enough. 1-1 count. Pitch on the way. Trying to sync it up right now as we speak, so you always have to bear with me these first couple of pitches. It's not quite in sync with the video. The 1-1 from Sale. He comes set. Kicks and fires. Right there, 96 at the knees, 1-2. I think we got it set and good to go. If not, we'll play with it as we go along. Welcome in, Braves Country. And for folks who may be new here, welcome in as well. Braves nothing. Nationals nothing. The 1-2 from Sale. Kicks and fires. Slider, did he go around? They checked down the line. He did not, says first base umpire Adam Bacon. So a 2-2 from Sale. Pitch on the way. Lifted high into left field. That'll make the catch. 2 down. First pitch on the way to James Wood is rifled over to third. 5-3 put out. Alex. We had a glitch here. Bear with me. 2 down, top of the first. Yepes, the number 3 hitter, coming to the plate. Lefty-righty matchup. Yepes. Nationals in their gray pants, blue tops. Braves in their white pants, red tops. Yepes digs in. The pitch from Sale. First pitch, 95 miles an hour, outside wide. It's 1-0. The 1-0, 2 down. Brings it. Swung on, lifted high, and foul back out of play. 1-1. So a 1-1 count. Braves nothing, Nationals nothing. The 1-1 from Sale. Lifts the glove and slings it up there. Swung on, chopped over to third. Making the play is Gio. He short hops it to Olsen, but he scoops it out of the dirt. Good play by Olsen. That'll end the inning. 3 up, 3 down. We'll be back in a flash here on Braves Country.
If y'all see me walking barefoot in downtown Nashville, mind your business.
First time I was on tour, I was about 20 years old. I was with Buddy Holly.
With Buddy Holly?
Yeah, and in fact, that's the farthest I'd ever been away from home. It was in New York City, and they saw me coming really well. I went to this restaurant there, and this woman come up and she said, what can I do for you? And I really, bologna and cheese, you know, and beef is just about it with me. I didn't know nothing about corned beef and all that stuff, and it was delicatessen, so I ordered a sandwich. And she brought it to me, and I didn't like it at all, so I just took one bite, you know, and I was sitting back, didn't want to make no noise or waves. She come over and said, okay, I'll charge you for just half a sandwich and give you another one. Well, what'll it be? They still didn't have no bologna, you know. I ordered another one, and I didn't like it either, so I put it in my pocket.
You put it in your pocket?
In my pocket. I didn't want to make her mad, man.
But the next day, the Orioles took an early 3-0 lead. Then, in the bottom of the 6th inning, Cleon Jones of the Mets alleged he had been hit in the foot by pitcher Dave McNally. The umpire hadn't seen it. Hodges called for the ball and pointed to a minute speck of shoe polish. Jones went to first.
And here comes Earl Weaver. You could bet on that.
Next up was Don Clendenin.
Deep left field to the warning track.
His home run into the left field stands scored Jones and brought the Mets to within 1 run.
McNally ahead 0-1.
In the 7th, Al Weiss, normally an easy out, somehow managed to hit a home run to tie up the game.
This game has 3 runs apiece.
In the bottom of the 8th, 2 Met doubles and 2 costly Baltimore errors put New York ahead for good.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Mackenzie Gore stands in 7-11 with a 4.66 ERA, 287 opponent average against. Typically, a guy you can get to early and often. He has spun a few gems this year. Lefty-lefty matchup to start off the game with Michael Harris II. He fouls it back out of play. It's 0-1. Braves nothing, Nationals nothing. Game 1 of a 3-game set. The 0-1. Kicks and fires. Swing. That ball's laced towards right center field. That ball's going to get over the wall, baby. Zip, boom, bam, it's gone. Ram-a-lam-a ding-dong, a solo shot. Your Atlanta Braves. Money Mike goes yard. Nothing your score. Hanging slider. First pitch on the way to Jorge Soler. Is a curveball in the dirt. It's 1-0. 1-0 Atlanta. The 1-0. Kicks and fires. Check swing foul. Kind of fisted it on his hands. 1-1. The 1-1 count. Jorge Soler back in the starting lineup for the first time since Wednesday, out in San Francisco, Wednesday night. The 1-1. Swing and a miss. Blew it right by him. 96 miles an hour, 1-2. It's one thing that Gore has. I mean, he can bring it. He just tends to struggle with control. Still a young southpaw trying to learn the game. The 1-2 from McKenzie. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Got him with the changeup. Took a little bit off of that. 1 away. It's always a little bit of a bumpy ride as we start this AI adventure. That first half inning. But I believe we've got it synced up now with the video and the audio. Marcell Ozuna will step in. Batting .308. First pitch on the way. Swung on, roasted over towards third. It'll stay fair and into the glove of the third baseman. Tanya, he flips it over to Yeppa. 5-3 put out, 2 down. Say that 2 times fast. 2 down. 1-0 your score if you're just joining us. Michael Harris II, Money Mike goes yard. Braves lead at 1-0. Matt Olson digs in, lefty-lefty. He has not fared well against the southpaw Gore. First pitch on the way, right there, first strike, it's 0-1. Gore does much better with lefties. Now, with that being said, Harris just went yard, but you hang a slider, it doesn't matter if you're going right or left, it's usually going to be a bad day. The 0-1, swing and a miss. 96 right down the pipe. 0-2. Olson batting .227 with 21 home runs, 64 RBI, a .728 OPS, far cry from last year. The 0-2, swing. That ball is going to get dumped towards center field. Making the running catch is Young. He cuts it off at the pass, and that'll end the inning. But not for your Atlanta Braves. Put 1 on the board. It's 1-0 in Hot Atlanta.
You know the girl's a red flag when she's damn near 30 messing with 18-year-olds. This girl's done been passed around so much to hell moving to a new city. That John moved to a new generation. I bet it's hard messing around with someone from a different generation like that. You know, every generation's got different sayings and slangs, you know. It's like learning a new language all over again. They'll cook supper for them, you know, and they'll come over, they'll eat, and they'll say shit like, man, you put your foot in this. Then you got to go excuse yourself to go to the bathroom, Google what that means, just to learn that it means that the food was good and not that person has a foot fetish. So you got to worry about lotioning up your feet and everything. I know you got them tile floors in there. That's like figure skating. At that rate, your best bet is to start an OnlyFans and go by the name of Tanya Harding.
Y'all, in my house, we don't like to throw away perfectly good food, so we put the leftovers in the Tupperware, put the Tupperware in the fridge, let it go bad, then we throw it out.
If anything were ever to happen to me, I would want you to get remarried.
Okay.
I was a little fast.
Oh, I just want to make you happy.
Okay. Any idea of who you would
Vicky
marry?
Conroy, probably. She works in my office. She's very organized. The kids love her.
Are you guys talking about Vicky?
Yeah.
Mom, she's awesome.
Just so you know, if something were to happen to me,
Something's going to happen to you, all right.
2-1 pitch. Fly ball. Deep left field. Jones is back to the fence. World Series is over. Jones makes the catch.
The Miracle Mets had won the World Series. 4 games to 1.
After the game, after I'd left all the champagne, I would go to losing locker rooms too, and I went into Earl's office, and he was drinking a beer. It was very quiet, and somebody had said to him, "Didn't you think when you were ahead in the 7th inning you could keep that lead and then take the games back to Baltimore and probably beat the Mets there?" And he looked at him and he said, "That's what you can't do in baseball." He said, "You can't run a few plays into the line and kill the clock." He said, "This is why this is the greatest game of them all. You got to give the other man his chance at bat. This is why this is the greatest game of them all."
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Good to see you, Alabama. First pitch on the way. Slider right there at the knees for a strike. It's 0-1. We do have the conductor emoji kicking in the chat now, so that should be working. The 0-1. Chris Sale at 10 pitches. The 0-1 pitch. Swing. Pops it up high. Not very deep. Into right field. Drifting over, making the catch is Jorge Soler. 1 away. One down. Thank you, Jason. I see you put the conductor emoji up there so everybody knows it's working. Sometimes these things just don't load, and when we think they're in there, we almost have to wait until showtime before we can test it out. First pitch on the way from Sale is a slider outside wide. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Andres Chaparro. Right-handed bat, 276 average, 1 RBI. 758 OPS, the 1-0. Up top for a strike, 1-1. Adrian Johnson, your home plate umpire. We've seen him a few times this year. John Bacon, we've only seen him one other time. And Sunday, buckle up, Ramon De Jesus. Oof. The 1-1 swing. That ball's hit hard on the ground, roasted over to short, but right at Arcia, he fires it over to first, and it's a 6-3 put out, 1 away. 1 down. Just now starting to get eyes on the chats. If anyone has got anything they want to holler out about, let me know. Normally I try to keep an eye on it, but it's been a little different since the new haps on the screen and everything, having to sync everything up. 2 down. First pitch to Vargas is swung on and fouled back out of play. It's 0-1. Ian Vargas, he has been a thorn in our side from time to time, especially this year. Braves are not really facing the lineup we typically see. Tonight, they're putting a lot of their bench guys on. The 0-1 swung on, lifted high, not very deep, into shallow center field, drifting back, making the catch is the Magic Kingdom. Orlando retires. The batter, Sale, retires the side. We'll be back in a flash. All aboard! Whoa, whoa!
If your wife asks if y'all can have someone come and clean the house once per week, tell her you know the perfect person, then call her cell phone. After she back talks, tell her you're going to speak to her manager, and then text yourself.
What's up, Braves Country? Looking forward to a great Atlanta Braves season. See y'all at the ballpark. Love you.
How to pronounce this word, but PepsiCo just officially recalled their sugar-free Shua PPs.
Nobody correct him. Let's all instead
Showa peepees. Ginger ale. From now on.
During the 1970s and 80s, the war in Vietnam came to an end, and an American president was driven from office in disgrace. The Berlin Wall came down, and the Cold War ended. Democratic ideals flourished, but a new wave of fundamentalism ignited ancient animosities around the world. Casey Stengel and Satchel Paige died. By 1970, the national pastime was in trouble. Attendance had not increased for more than 2 decades. Now, the owner's grip on the destinies of the players was finally broken. And as their prospects improved, fans returned to the game. But old loyalties were sometimes forgotten. Now, what happened off the field, greed, scandal, strikes, seemed to overshadow the action on it. And now, as television demanded that most games be played at night, a whole generation of young fans would come of age without ever seeing a World Series game.
Braves Country Radio, your home. Welcome back. First pitch on the way. The 4-seam fastball. Looked like it missed the zone, but called for a strike. It's on. The 0-1 lefty-righty matchup. Laureano batting .227 on the year. Swing and a miss. Change up over the top. It's 0-2. Braves 1, Nats nothing. The 0-2. That ball is rifled into right field. That's going to get down for a base hit. And your Atlanta Braves have a leadoff single to get things going here in the bottom of the second inning. Good piece of hitting by Laureano. Just reached out and ripped it over the second baseman's head. We've got something cooking with Merrifield coming to the plate. I don't hate the idea. I found it interesting that Merrifield is batting 6th now that Solera's back. First pitch on the way. Up top, first strike, it's 0-1. It'll be interesting to see what they do against right-handers. The 0-1. I actually thought they might flip-flop Harris, and the runner goes. The 0-1 pitch swung on. That ball is rifled in down towards the right field line. That's going to get down where the green grass grows. Laureano will be stopped at third, so Merrifield will slam on the brakes at second. The Atlanta Braves have 2 on, nobody out. Good piece hit by Merry-Go-Round. Slaps it just over the first baseman's head. Just stayed fair and hit that little crevice. If it doesn't kick right, that thing's into the corner, and Laureano definitely scores. Merrifield's probably standing on third with his speed. So 2 on. Nobody out. First pitch to Murphy. Swing. Lifts it high. Deep into right field. That ball is going to be just foul. 0-1. Laureano is so funny. He runs fairly fast, but the way he runs is just absurd. I kind of hope I can see it on the AI sometime. it's like his legs and arms don't move in sync. It's become my new favorite thing to watch, is just watching him run around the bases. The 0-1 brings it up high and out of the zone, 1-1. So 1-1 count. Braves lead at 1-0. Golden opportunity here to extend this lead. Murphy with the 1-1 count on him. Swing. That ball is going to get lifted over towards second. Almost doubled up was Merrifield. One away. The shortstop making the play, Nunez, on the dead run, ran over and stepped on second. Luckily, Merrifield had not committed and got back quickly. That was almost a dangerous out. Nationals infield is playing about halfway in. They're not fully in because they don't want to give up those 2 runs, but Laureano is going to have to be aware of that. First pitch on the way, 4-seam fastball at the knees. to Gio Urshela. It's 0-1. Urshela is batting .245 on the year, 5 home runs. The 0-1. High and out of the zone. 96-mile-an-hour fastball. 1-1. So a 1-1 count. Braves 1, Nationals nothing. Runners on second and third. The 1-1. Swung on and chopped back towards the pitcher. They're going to have Laureano in a rundown. Laureano's trying to get the runners to be able to advance far enough, but he'll get caught in the pickle. Score it 1-2 put out. 2 away. Merrifield makes it down to third. Gio will be at first. He was running on contact, and it was just bad luck. It came right back to the pitcher. So 1-0 your score. Now we're going to need a base hit or a wild pitch, something of that nature. First pitch on the way, 82 miles an hour. Right there for an outside strike to Arcia. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Kicks and fires. Misses high, 1-1. So a 1-1 count. Arcia batting .224 on the year. Harris is standing on deck. Braves trying to cash in on this opportunity here. The 1-1 pitch. Swing, pops it up. High in the sky. Who wants it? Whoa, falling down is the right fielder. Luckily for the Nationals, Call falls in right field, and luckily for the Nationals, Vargas makes the catch. They're probably going to go check on him. I'm not sure if he's all right or not. He's getting up very slowly, but we'll be back in a flash. Braves lead at 1-0.
People will say, I have a Facebook, but I don't really know why, because I don't ever get on it. Well, I get on mine all the time. You won't know why, because there's always something going on. There was this girl, okay? She was working in one of them little Herbalife tea shops, just minding her own business in there, and this creepazoid comes in. And he was clearly batting out of his league, y'all. It just wasn't going to happen. She asked him, she's like, look, can I help you? I don't know. Can you? What do you drink? I'll have whatever you like. And it was like the most uncomfortable, awkward conversation ever. He decides to take it upon himself to show her a photo of his little pee-pee, y'all. It seems Limp Bizkit here conned someone into marrying him after this whole incident. Did she find out about it? Yes, she did. His response was, I was just trying to enjoy my last few days of freedom.
Okay, I want you guys to tell me what you think this means. So I just passed a strip club, and their billboard sign said 50 beautiful ladies, 50, half of 100, 50 beautiful ladies. And under it, it said 99 beautiful legs. Does that mean one of the girls only has one leg?
Still, the family of baseball continued to grow. Larry McPhail's grandson Andy ran a team. Yogi Berra's son Dale played for a while. And one evening in California, back-to-back home runs were hit by Ken Griffey and Ken Griffey Jr. In Hoboken, New Jersey, the factory Maxwell House had built on the Elysian Fields, where baseball began, closed down. And that same year, the Baltimore Orioles opened a brand-new, old-style ballpark on the site of the saloon once owned by the father of Babe Ruth. Everything had changed, and nothing much had changed.
Welcome back. Have to see if they make a substitution there for the right fielder call. They went out there and looked at him and walked off on his own power set. He slipped, but I don't know if he might have tweaked something. They haven't made an adjustment to the lineup card yet, but we'll keep an eye on it. Yeah, it's really strange. Oh, no. He did not make it off the field. They went to break, and I thought made it off the field. So this must be really bad for Call. They're actually going to put him in a cart. He might have torn something, because now I'm seeing it on the Washington replay. Washington showing him punching the ground. So he must be in pretty damn bad pain because he was furiously punching the ground. Like he knew. You hate to see that on a young kid like that. He just getting to play every day in the Washington lineup. The three outfielders that they have on the active roster were in the lineup tonight, but they do have other guys that can play in the outfield. They're just not listed there. We'll have to see which way they go. I would say there's a chance he could put Joey Gallo in the game. I would think that would be their go-to. So we'll start here in the top of the third. Braves leading just 1-0. Excuse me, should be 3-0. We did not take advantage of a golden opportunity last inning. First pitch on the way is a strike at the knees. Nice frisbee slider. Sale to Tena. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Swing and a miss over the top, 0-2. So an 0-2 count. Sale brings it. Slider in the dirt. 1-2. Braves 1, Washington 0. You know, the thing about Laureano, and I could be wrong because I'm going to have to see a different angle on it, but it appeared that Tui was sending him. And I'm thinking is the 1-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Got him with the slider bending away, 1 away. Usually when a situation like that happens, he's being told before the pitch is made to go on contact. But with that being said, you can use some common sense there and go, whoa, 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 I'm about to be dead meat. One down. Chris Sale flips a slider in there to the right-handed bat of Young. It's 0-1. The 0-1 brings it outside wide 1-1. The other obvious thing there is, and I didn't get a good look at, all I saw was the side angle on the Washington replay. Tui's not very aggressive, so I might have misread that whole thing. He might have been waving his arms saying, stay, stay. The 1-1, swing and a miss, 1-2. Laureano is not a great base runner. He's entertaining to watch go around the bases, but he makes some dopey moves. But he's hit the ball well, and I mean, honestly, considering the fact that he was called into action off the streets, he's played pretty darn good baseball for the Braves. The 1-2, down and away, 2-2. Jason Hayward, I saw someone asking about Jason Hayward. So, yeah, he has been released by the Los Angeles Dodgers. If he makes it through waivers, he can sign with whoever. There's a couple of options that could go there. Is the 2-2 from Sale. Inside, 3-2. So to sign him right now, they would have to release somebody or send somebody down. And there's only a real option to send someone down would be Luke Williams. The problem with that is you don't have a backup infielder now. The 3-2 pops it up high in the sky, bends it out of play. Now, if you think you can get through the next week and a half, because September 1st, you're going to get the 28-man call-up, the expanded rosters, and at that point, Jason Hayward would be a great player to have on your roster. The payoff pitch, swing, chops it over towards first. That's going to get fair, past first, down the first base line, into right field. Coming over, making the play is Soler, and it's a one-out double for the Nationals. So the options could be twofold. You sign him, you send Luke Williams down, you ride with no extra infielder for a little over a week, which is something that the Braves can. I mean, Luke Williams rarely plays anyways, right? And if you get an injury, you could figure it out, and then the next day bring someone up. That's an option. The other option would be you sign him to a minor league deal and tell him, come September, we're going to bring you up. Him being from the Atlanta area, he may go for that. First pitch, down and in for a ball. It's 1-0. And obviously what you would probably do is he would just be down there taking batting practice and whatnot. You wouldn't have him out there playing in the field. You probably wouldn't have him hitting too many games just because there's no real need for it. The 1-0, swing and a miss up top 1-1. You could, I guess, DH him down in the minors and then come the first. It'd be a great extra left-handed bat, and not to mention his defense is still pretty elite out there in right field. The 1-1, Sale kicks and fires, runner goes, throw down to third, high throw by Murphy. Delayed call by the third base umpire, Quinn Wilcott. He's going to say he's safe. I'm not sure what he was waiting on, but guess maybe just the count is now 2-1, tying run down 90 feet away. So I don't know if it's something that they're going to do, but it's something that they could move around. It's definitely a possibility. Now, for it to get all the way to the Braves, it's got to go all the way through Major League Baseball via your current record. Because the Braves don't have one of the best records in baseball right now, they would be ahead of any of those playoff contenders. The 2-1, outside wide, 3-1. And his numbers aren't great for folks who remember Jason Hayward. I was looking at his numbers today. I mean, he's hitting just over 200, a low OPS. Braves infield is in. The 3-1 from Sale. He shows bunt, taps it back in front of the mound. Sale's got it. Here comes the throw, and it's going to be a double play. Got him! They got caught with their hand in the cookie jar. So ring it up. 1-3-2. Inning-ending, rally-killing, double play. Good throw by Sale, and an even better relay by Mr. Matt Olson. All aboard! Whoa, whoa! Chicken.
My wife asked me if I'd clear the dinner table. Got a running start, but I made it.
Y'all, I've come to realize that all I have to do is buy one item of clothing from an online store, and that company will send me 2 emails every single day for the rest of my life.
I am has tweezers in my car years old. I used to drop it low and pick it up slow on purpose, but now it's an accident years old. If you hear about me popping and locking anywhere, that's just my bones with any sudden movement years old. I am at the doctor's office and they give me 38 forms to fill out that say, what's your birthday? What's your birthday? What's your birthday? And then the last one is like, and how old are you? And I write in the little line, I'm off the clock. You do the math, you lazy sons of years old. That's how old I am.
I wouldn't do anything for a Klondike bar, but I would do some sketchy stuff for some coffee.
On October 14th, 1992, the Pittsburgh Pirates were in Atlanta facing the Braves in the 7th and deciding game of the National League Championship Series. With 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th, Pittsburgh led 2-1, but Atlanta had the bases loaded. A pinch hitter, Francisco Cabrera, who had had only 10 at-bats all season, was at the plate.
And now the Braves season hangs in the balance. The 2-1. Line drive and a base hit! Just as the score...
With the tying run in, most assumed that the runner on second, Sid Bream, hobbled by 5 knee operations, would be held at third. But the third base coach sent Bream anyway.
Bream to the plate! And he is safe! Safe at the plate! The Braves go to the World Series!
For the next decade and a half, Atlanta would dominate the National League, returning again and again to the postseason.
Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Your Atlanta Braves lead this 1-0. First pitch on the way. Oh, we got video issues. Give me 1 second. Not sure what the hell that was. So a 1-1 count. We lost video for a second. Bally Sports is doing some fun things ever since they filed for bankruptcy. The 1-1 pitch. Up top, misses high. 2-1. noticing that they've lost their box too. You know, the little white box that goes up on the screen. So a 2-1 count. He had some intern in there pushing the wrong button. The pitch, down and away, 3-1. I'd like to thank JC for reminding us all how old we are. He's talking about how he and I'm sure most of us watched that Braves game that was in the clip. The 3-1 swung on and rifled foul down the line, 3-2. I think the Sid slit, I think that's one of those moments in time that if you're a Braves fan, like, you'll always remember where you were. The payoff pitch. Swing! That ball's lifted into center field, drifting back, making the catch is Young. One away. Michael Harris II hit a home run his first time up. Got a pretty good swing on that one. So the question was, it wasn't, it was not a suicide squeeze. What it was the delayed. If he goes on the hit on the comebacker to the mound, is the first pitch on the way to Solaire's outside wide for a ball. It's 1-0. Sale's going to see it, and it's going to be an easy out. What he did was he tried to wait till Sale turned his back, hoping for like a lollipop type of throw. Well, that's not what happened. Sale threw a bullet over there to first, and is the 1-0 swing and a miss, 1-1. And after that happened, Olsen fired it to home, and it was a perfect throw. He had him by more than a step. He was sliding, but I mean, essentially, Sean Murphy was sitting there eating a sandwich waiting for him to come down there so he could tag him. So a 2-1 count. Gore brings it. Swing! That ball's lifted high into right field. Will it drop? No, they're going to come over and make the catch. Hung up a little too long, 2 away. By the way, to update what is going on with the injury front, I was right. It ended up being Gallo in right field. Call, if you're just joining us, Alex Call left with looked like a pretty severe injury to his knee. Knee just buckled out there in right field. It was humorous when it first happened because he looked like he had tripped over his feet or something, but I think his knee just buckled. First pitch on the way to Ozuna is right there for a strike. It's 0-1. Atlanta Falcons are benching all their starters tonight, but we'll still keep you updated on that on the practice game score. Jacksonville leads that one 14-0. The 0-1 bounces in the dirt, 1-1. So a 1-1 count. Football season starts in earnest tomorrow. You got a handful of college football games, what they call Week 0. Labor Day weekend is the official Week 1 for college football. The 1-1 up top looked like he might have gotten the strike, but didn't get the call. It's 2-1. Tomorrow morning, 8:30 a.m. for you Country Club members. Cover Country Radio right here live on Braves Country Radio. This is the 2-1, misses high ball, 3-3-1, four-seam fastball. Saturday mornings we'll be here to talk all the world of college football. We normally get it started a little baseball reaction, and then we dive into football. Tomorrow we're talking about not only our picks of the day is the 3-1, swung on, lifted back, foul, high towards the rafters behind home plate, 3-2. We'll be making our conference predictions and talk about some of the best bets that you can make on the futures for conference and playoff implications in college football. The payoff pitch, swing, fouls it back. We'll do it again. We will also give you our picks of the day. There's a handful of college games. There's also quite a few NFL games Saturday and Sunday. We give you our locks. Starting next week is when we do the 6-pack of picks, and then we also do the locks every show. The payoff misses. Oh, they call it for a strike. Wow. Ozuna's going to lose his mind because that pitch looked a little outside. If it was a strike, then the one a couple before was definitely a strike. That'll end the inning. We'll be back in a flash here on Braves Country.
This is the career of Whitey Herzog. Doral Norman Elvert Herzog was given the nickname Whitey due to his light blonde hair. After spending time between the Senators, the Athletics, the Orioles, and the Tigers over his 8-year playing career, he decided to call it quits. His first stop after hanging up his cleats would be with the Athletics, where he worked as a scout and a coach. His first managerial job would be with the Texas Rangers, but it would be short-lived as he was fired that same year after the team went 47-91. He then moved on to the Angels, who hired him as their third base coach in 1974. His big break would come when he took over as the manager of the Kansas City Royals in 1975. He led the Royals to 3 straight American League West division titles from 1976 to 1978. The last stop on his managerial tour would be with the Cardinals, where he spent 11 seasons. He would lead them to a World Series win in 1982 and 2 other appearances in 1985 and 1987. In total, he led 6 division winners, 3 pennant winners, and 1 World Series win. His extensive baseball background would lead him to becoming a general manager with both the Cardinals and the Angels. He is known for his style of play nicknamed Whitey Ball, which concentrates on pitching, speed, and defense to win games rather than home runs. He was inducted in the Baseball Hall of Fame by the Veterans Committee in 2010. To close it out, I will share a quote by Whitey himself. "Baseball has been good to me since I quit trying to play."
One of those forms of gentle poetry that runs through our lives and makes the more important issues of living bearable. You have to have moments that give you pleasure with your children or your hobbies or your games. And life can't all be big issues and heart surgery. You need something to give up. Something has to bring joy into the day. I've always thought that the 6 months during the baseball season, there was something in the day that wasn't there the other 6 months in winter. It was not that you had to listen to the game, but that you could if you needed it.
Swing and a miss, and he took a mighty cut. Quite a touching sight. Everyone standing at Fenway Park as Ted Williams hit probably for the last time in a Boston uniform in this ballpark. Alarsic back to the wall. There's a drive to deep right center. This may be gone. Brad way back there watching. Home run. Ted Williams.
Welcome back. Joey Gallo leads us off after coming in for the injured Alex Call. Lefty-lefty matchup. First pitch on the way from Sale is a P at the knees for a strike. It's 0-1. Gallo batting 175 home runs. The 0-1. Fastball 96 on the outer edge. Just misses. 1-1. 1-1 count. Braves won. Braves won Washington 0. 1-0 down and away. 2-1. The 2-1 from Sale. Outside wide ball 3-1. Beav is asking who just got fired. It was the Seattle manager. He was fired for taking advice from Brian Snicker. The 3-1. Swing. Lifts it high. Not very deep into left field. Drifting over, making the catch. Laureano went away. But in all seriousness, his team had collapsed. They were playing pretty darn good baseball all year long, and they have just absolutely collapsed. And so they're firing him. They're hoping to maybe get Seattle back on their winning ways. They had a huge lead in the AL West, and now they're trailing by quite a few games. We'll go over that here in 1 second. First pitch on the way to James Wood is outside for a strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1 lefty-lefty against the rookie. Number 1 prospect in baseball. Swung on, chopped over towards the mound. Coming over, making the play is Sale. He'll flip it to second. I just flip it to first. It's a 3-1 put out. 2 down. Second out of the inning. Two down. Houston has come roaring back. For folks who haven't been paying attention to the American League, Houston's doing Houston-type things. They were like 7-8 games out of first place in May, and they are just sitting pretty now. First pitch on the way from Sale is a slider. Frisbee to Yepes on the outer edge. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Sale comes set. Brings it. Swing. Chops it over towards third. It's going to be a slow roller, and Gio's going to have to eat it. It stayed fair. Once it took that second bounce, it just kind of died in the grass. He was letting it roll, hoping it would roll foul. So it's an infield single for Yepes, who doesn't run great, but even one of our catchers would be able to glide down to first on that one. That was just a well-placed infield single. So 1 on, 2 out. Right-handed bat of Ruiz. You got to be careful here. 18 home runs on the air. First pitch, swung on, blasted. High and deep into right field. Will it stay in play? It's going to drop and then bounce, and that's going to be a ground rule double. Soler, he just kind of gave up on it, and it dropped a few feet in front of him. I still think it's quite the quandary what he's doing over there playing right field. He is not a right fielder. Not anymore. He just kind of slowed down. I think he just assumed the ball was going to go foul, and I'm sure some of it has to do with him getting used to right field here in Atlanta again. It's been a few years since he's been out there, but the idea that he should be playing right field is just, I mean, it's comical. First pitch on the way is a bender outside wide. It's 1-0. So runners on second and third and 2 out. Thankfully, it did bounce into the seats, because if it stayed fair and rattled around down there, he was so flat-footed, the runner probably would have scored. The 1-0, swing and a miss. Slider, 1-1. So a 1-1 count. Sale comes set, brings it, swing and a miss, 98. Outer edge, 1-2. Yeah, JC, I've been commenting about that all week. The Gio Urshela. I think a good nickname for him would be Babyface. He's 32 years old, but he looks like he's about 17. The 1-2, 97 misses up high, 2-2. So 2-2 count. He started his career with the Yankees. He hasn't been there in about 3 years. Left there in 21. The 2-2 swung on, lifted, and that ball's going to get into center field. And the Nationals will take the lead. Poor defense by the Atlanta Braves. And here comes the throw into second, and the runner will be safe. And it's 2-1, Washington. Good piece of hitting there, but once again, the inning should be over. If we had a right fielder that could right field, the inning's over. First pitch on the way to Vargas is outside wide for a ball. It's 1-0. There's no reason why you can't put Soler in left. He's played left before. It really is maddening. It's about the fourth or fifth play that, because he's been in right field, it's cost the Braves a run. The 1-0 swung on, ripped into center. They're going to have to hold the runner at 30, slams on the brakes. Harris, terrible throw into the backstop, over the head of Murphy. The runner at third will stay put, but the batter will make it down to second. Good Lord. It's like the Keystone Cops out there. Just god-awful throw by Harris. It hit the top of the mound, I guess is what happened. And I think he even got more unlucky than that, is that I believe it hit the actual pitching rubber, so it really took off. But a center fielder worth his salt is not hitting that mound from that distance. He's never been known for having a strong arm, but nonetheless. So 2 on, 2 out. First pitch on the way, 97 right there. First strike, it's 0-1. Chris Sale in big trouble now. A lot of it has been from the defensive side, but he has given up some base knocks. Jose Tena, the left-handed batter, batting .344. The 0-1. 98 outside. 1-1. The 1-1 count. Sale brings it. Swing, pops it up. Down the left field line, it'll be foul. Will anyone get to it? It'll smack the tarps. Gio, the only one giving chase. 1-2. What's really coming home to roost now is you remember those 2 runs that the Braves should have been able to punch home beginning of the game, and just not very disciplined plate appearances. They came up snake eyes. The 1-2. Brings it. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Sale gets us out of the jam. But out for Washington puts a couple on the board. We trail to the Nats on a Friday night in Atlanta.
How come every time you say I'm tired, there's always a parent nearby that's going to say, if you don't have children, you don't know what tired is. But have you guys considered how exhausting it is listening to you complain about your children all the time? I need a double espresso and 20 milligrams of Adderall just to keep my eyes open around you all sometimes. So, did you save the receipt?
This is the career of Pete Browning. He referred to his eyes as lamps and was said to have stared into the sun to strengthen them. He named his bats after biblical figures and retired them when he felt they ran out of hits. He was primarily an infielder in his first 3 seasons, but was moved to the outfield in 1885, where he stayed until the end of his career. In his first season as a pro in 1882, he led the American Association in batting average, on-base percentage, and slugging percentage. He had his best season in 1887, scoring 137 runs, amassing 220 hits, stealing 103 bases, and driving in 118. Twice in the decade he hit for the cycle, once in 1886 and again in 1889. In 1890 he won his 3rd and final batting title, hitting .373 for the Cleveland Infants. His .341 career batting average remains one of the highest in Major League history. What's even more impressive is he did all this despite being deaf from an inner ear condition known as mastoiditis. Because of his condition, he would often appear on the field while drunk, and was even suspended for the final 2 months of the 1889 season for drunkenness. Some say he was the inspiration behind the popular Louisville Slugger line of bats. Even with everything I've told you, he still isn't in the Baseball Hall of Fame. What do you think? Should he be?
I think what baseball is a game that allows people who watch it to think about nothing else. It allows us to feel connected to a place.
On April 20th, 1912, 2 months before the cornerstone was laid for Ebbets Field, Fenway Park opened its doors for the first time. The Red Sox beat the New York Highlanders that afternoon 7-6 in 11 innings, beginning one of the most intense rivalries in baseball.
Welcome back. Mackenzie Gore goes back to work. First pitch on the way. 95 on the outer block. It's 0-1. Lefty-lefty matchup. Gore with only 42 pitches. Braves have gotten some good swings on him. They just haven't put them together. The 0-1. Swing and a miss. 95 really late on that one. 0-2. So an 0-2 count. Kicks and fires. Swing. Chops it over towards second. Should be an easy play. It is. 4-3 put out. Vargas to Yepa. One away. One down, and that'll bring up Ramon Laureano. He had a single his first time up. Merrifield is in the hole. Long way to go in this one. Braves trail by 1. First pitch on the way to Ramon is a bender on the inner cut. It's 0-1. The 0-1 lifts and fires way high out of the zone. 1-1. The 1-1 to Laureano. He better hurry. That clock is going down. There it goes. Swing, 96 miles an hour, fist at foul. Same two teams tomorrow night. Charlie Morton on the mound for your Atlanta Braves. The 1-2, outside wide 2-2. Raylo, Ronaldo Lopez, is the pitcher on Sunday. And then we head on a 7-game road trip, 3 at Minnesota and 4 at Philadelphia. The 2-2. Brings it. Swing, hammers it up the middle. That'll be a worm burner for a base hit. And Ramon Laureano, well, he makes base running mistakes, but the man's 2 for 2 on the night. You wonder how long they'll have Soto. I read his comment and had Soto on the brain. Soler, how long Soler will play in this first game back. First pitch on the way to Merrifield is up high for a ball. It's 1-0. If the Braves can get the lead late in the innings, you would figure they're going to pull them, put probably Duvall out in right field. The 1-0. P at the knees. 1-1. So 1-1 count. I definitely believe Juan Soto is going to be in New York. I just don't know if he's going to be wearing the navy blue pinstripes or those orange pinstripes. The 1-1. They're going to flip it over to first to keep the runner close by. Whit Merrifield, he's 1 for 1 in his own right. He had a double his first time up. Pitch down and in. 2-1. He rifled one down in the right field corner. Back to what we were talking about with why the Seattle manager was fired. So a few months ago, they were 5-6 games in front of Houston. They're now 6 back in the loss column. The 2-1 swing, pops it up. High in the sky. Will it stay in play? Chasing. Making the catch over by the tarps. 2 away. Vargas, the second baseman, caught it right up against the screen over there. Was hoping that he would run out of room, but no dice. So that's the main reason why that's how Houston's going to probably cruise their way back to another AL West title unless something miraculous happens and Seattle wakes up. Texas, by the way, if you didn't pay attention to that, they are 11 games out, 10.5 back. 11 games back in the win-loss column. Sean Murphy takes a swing at the first pitch he sees and whiffs on the outer edge. It's 0-1. The AL Central, that is a fun race. Cleveland leads it with 73-54 record. Minnesota and Kansas City are exactly 2 games behind. The 0-1. Down and in. 1-1. The Yankees have a 1.5 lead on Baltimore. Baltimore's just been playing some bad baseball for the past month. They've had a lot of injuries, much like the Braves. As far as the wild card goes, As the 1-1. Swing and a miss over the top 1-2. American League wild card, it really is a 4-team race for 3 slots. Baltimore, Minnesota, Kansas City, and Boston. The rest of them were pretty far back. The 1-2 to Murphy, swing and a miss, strike 3, blew it right by him, and that'll end the inning. They dropped Murphy to the 7 hole, and I'm telling you, it's not low enough in the order. Can he bat 10th or 11th? We'll be back in a flash here on Braves Country.
When guys pee, do they hold it like a joint or like a cigarette?
Market analysis.
All right, we're already
report
2 minutes over, and we really need to wrap this up. So if you could send the action items and your notes as a follow-up to the team, that'd be great.
Well, okay, well, no one, I mean, I didn't take any notes for this meeting. No.
That's
a shocker. Well, no
What
one,
have you been doing this entire time then?
I would like to plead the 4th.
You want protections from unlawful search and seizure? That doesn't make any sense.
All right, well, objection?
We're not in a courtroom, so...
Thank you. So case dismissed. I think we can move on.
No, case not dismissed. Did you write anything down at all?
Yes, I did.
Okay, well, can we see what you have written? I'm your boss. I'd like to see what notes you took.
Okay, objection and incompetence. I mean, this is...
Well, it would have been a little bit better if I knew.
It would have been better if you listened.
When he makes these kind of comments, he really, truly does not know what he's talking about, in all honesty, and that's why he makes such asinine comments, because he truly doesn't know.
Always injured. I mean, damn, it's baseball. Maybe it's karma for him that he stayed with the Angels.
When I was in Philly, okay, when I was in the Philadelphia clubhouse, we had a traveling secretary, Frank the Tank. Well, I got this conversation with him about Stephen A. Smith one day. I said, well, how come he never comes in the clubhouse anymore? And he says to me, oh, no, we had to kick him out of the clubhouse. I said, oh, really? I said, y'all kicked him out of the clubhouse. I said, well, why did y'all kick him out of the clubhouse? And he proceeds to tell me that he was doing all kind of shady shit, like going through the manager's office, and when he wasn't in there, going through the training room, pulling out reports and all kind of places he shouldn't have been. So I've always looked at this guy like a complete joke.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Chris Sale goes back to work, trailing by 1. First pitch on the way. He's inside for a ball. To the center fielder, Young. Number 8 hitter in the lineup, it's 1-0. The 1-0. Slaps the edge with the slider. Outer part of the plate. 1-1. Jacob Young is 1 for 1 with a double and a stolen base. The pitch. Well outside, wide, 2-1. 2-1. Murphy sets up inside. Swing, chops it up the middle. Right there is Merrifield. He flips it to Olsen. 4-3 in your scorecard, 1 down. Jacksonville's taking a 20-0 lead over Atlanta as they had to have. Jacksonville was starting most of their starters, and Atlanta, from my understanding, they were like 3rd, 4th string guys who were fighting for that last position. I think you're going to see a similar thing tonight. Oakland is benching their guys, and San Francisco starting theirs. First pitch on the way is inside for a strike. Now he calls that a ball. Wow. 1-0. The 1-0 to Nunez, number 9 hitter. Swing, rifles it down the right field line, but foul into the upper deck. 1-1. 1-1 count. Brings it. Swing. Fouls it straight back. So 1-2 from Sale. Chris Sale, by the way, at 60 pitches here in the 5th, so pretty good on that front. You'd like to be in below the 75 pitch mark going into the 6th. Infield's playing back. The 1-2. Down and in, 2-2. Washington 2, Atlanta 1, top of the 5th, the pitch. Swung on, chopped down the third base line, foul towards the Nationals dugout. I believe the Braves cast, I could swear, I think that's Juan Franco in the booth with him. He looks exactly as he did when he played for the Braves 20 years ago when he was 45. The 2-2. 95 inside, didn't get the call. Really close pitch, full count. Standing on deck, Joey Gallo in for the injured Alex Call. The 3-2 from Sale. Swing! Pops it back foul. Just enough to stay alive. We'll do it again. Good to see you, Marguerite. Braves 1, Nats 2, top 5, Sale, kicks and fires. Caught looking strike 3. He got caught watching the paint dry. 2 away. Good pitch by Sale. Looking at the National League wild card, Braves trail San Diego by 3 and Arizona by 3.5 for the first and second wild card spot. The first pitch on the way to Gallo is rifled into right field. It's a 2-out single, which has been some problems for Sale tonight. Here in the top of the 5th. Big picture, they are 2 losses behind San Diego, 3 losses behind Arizona. They lead the Mets by 1.5 games, 2 in the loss column. The Giants are 4 back, St. Louis 5, and the Cubs 5.5. First pitch on the way to the rookie Wood, James Wood. Right there for a strike. It's on 1. Wood 0 for 2 on the day. Lefty, lefty. Swing. That ball's laced into right field. That's down for a base hit. Grabbed that slider and slapped it into right field, and they got runners on the corners of 2 outs. So once again, 2-out trouble for Chris Sale. So that's pushed the pitch count up. Remember, we told you just a little while ago it was at 60. It's now at 68. So 2 down. Now he's facing the number 3 hitter, Juan Yepez. Runners on the corners, 2 outs. Yepez 1 for 2, a single in the 4th and scored a run. Sale flips it over to first. Wood does have pretty good speed, and he will go. Third time through the lineup here for Sale. Yepez steps out of the box, climbs back in. Sale comes set, brings it. Swing, chops it over to third. Gio's got it. Babyface will flip it to first, and that'll end the inning. Atlanta Braves keep the score right there, 2-1. Let's grab the bats. Let's get some runs on a Friday night here in Braves country.
Space out there in safety training and lose a limb on the job. Be a man.
Hey, I might be late to pick you guys up.
Why, do you have a job interview today, Daddy?
No, honey, I'll probably just be way too drunk.
That's good. We don't want you drinking and driving.
Oh, I'll be driving. I'll just be too faced to remember to pick you guys up.
The last conversation I ever had with my dad, the night before he died, if you knew what my dad was like, he wasn't, I love you and I'm sorry. He was a doer, not a talker. And he told me that he went through the same thing when he was a ball player. My dad was a really good baseball player. And this is how you get over this issue. You don't have a mental block. He said you have a temporary loss of confidence. And once the confidence comes back, this thing will dissipate. And so I started working on it in practice, just like he had told me. And I started getting my confidence back in practice. I actually switched him. I took on practice as a game. And so when game time came along, it was like, hey, I've already been through this. I was relaxing. And then when I got through that thing, I went on and I led the league in fielding at my position when I went to the American League. And I was in the top 5 fielding from then on in all the second basemen. So it was about conversations with my dad that helped me get over this. And then oddly enough, after my dad died, about 3 years later, I was talking to my mom about this conversation with my dad. And my mom and dad have been together since the 5th grade. And my mom told me, she said, your dad never had a throwing problem in his life. He just said that because he knew how much I revered his strength and his wisdom. And if he could go through it, then it's not so bad that I'm going through it. And that's how I got my confidence back, by somebody that was selfless enough, like my dad, to tell me this when he never went through a throwing problem, but it helped me get over it. And thankfully, I was one of the very few guys that went through this thing that got over it. A lot of guys don't get over this issue.
Welcome back. Braves trail by just 1. Mackenzie Gore, we talked about this at the top of the show. He can throw a gem from time to time, but he really has been all over the place. The Braves have just not been able to cash in that first solo home run by Michael Harris to lead off the game, and that's it. Gio Urshela takes the first pitch down low. It's 1-0. The 1-0 misses up top, 2-0. The way things were going into the second inning when they had second and third and one out, you thought the first pitch on the 2-0 pitch on the way is swung on, popped up, easy fly ball. Shortstop grabs it in shallow center field. Nunez on the play. 1 down. You got runners on second and third, nobody out. You got to get a run home, and they didn't. It's 3 really bad at bats. Not to mention the terrible base running error by Laureano again. First pitch on the way to Arcia is down and in for a ball. It's 1-0. Orlando 0 for 1 with the weak pop out in the second. The 1-0 brings it. Swung at one around his ankles. That was a bad swing. Good night, Irene. 1-1. 1-1 count. Kicks and fires in the dirt. 2-1. Mets and the Padres play tonight, so if the Braves can come back and win this game, they will gain some ground on one of them. They'll be playing all weekend long in San Diego. The 2-1. Swing. Rifles it back foul. Late on that 96-mile-an-hour fastball. 2-2. Standing on deck is Michael Harris the second. 1 down. The 2-2. Brings it. Outside wide, 3-2. So a full count to Orlando. See if he can find his way aboard. Michael Harris the second. The rest of the top of the order due up. You kind of expect they're going to challenge him here. The 3-2 pitch. Swung on, chop foul. Good bender. Slaps it into the Washington dugout. Nats 2, Braves 1. Bottom of the 5th. The payoff pitch. Swing. Chops it off his foot. Do it again. That 3-game set at Minnesota and 4 games in Philadelphia. That's probably the toughest road trip we've got left on the season. 2 teams sitting in the playoff picture right now, all 7 games on the road. The payoff pitch, swung on, lifted towards left field. Will that stay fair? That's going to get down where the green grass grows. Into the corner, running around and making it to second base. It's a ground rule double for Orlando Arcia later. See that ball into the seats. Just kind of looped it. Weren't sure if it was going to stay fair or not. It just did. And it climbed into the seats here at Truist Park. I don't think it would have mattered with Arcia's speed. I don't think he makes it to third. First pitch on the way to Harris. He drops a bunt down, goes foul. It's on 1. Harris is trying to work his way aboard. Remember, he had the home run. He's probably hoping he would catch them sleeping there. Not a bad idea by Harris. Lefty-lefty matchup, runner at second. Standing on deck is Jorge Soler. Third time through the order for the Braves, the 1-2. Swing, that ball is hammered over to third. Making the catch is Tanya. 2 away. That was a hard-hit ball. That was an atom ball. A little bit of bad luck there. Hit it against the shift. And the only spot he could have hit it on that left side where someone could have made a play on it was right there. Jorge Soler stands in, first pitch. Gore's going to spin around to chase the runner back to second. You got to figure Arcia is going to be cheating a little bit, making sure he scores on a single. Braves 1, Washington 2, bottom 5. Ruiz went out there to chat with Gore. Now he's back behind home plate. Braves got the chop going a little bit in the battery, so we'll go ahead and join in with them. First pitch on the way. Inside. Called for a strike on 1. That was a very generous strike. The 0-1. Another 95-mile-an-hour fastball. That one was at the knees. 0-2. So Lair doesn't like it, but if he looks at another one again, he's going to be heading to get his glove. So an 0-2 count. Gore kicks and fires. Swing. Hammers it down the third base line. Foul. Tying run in scoring position at second base. A base hit should score to Arcia. Soler 0 for 2 on the night. His first night back from sitting on the bench injured all week long. The 0-2 swing pops it up. High in the sky, lazy fly ball in right field. That'll end the inning. Arcia gets on via the double. We can't get him in. Another low-scoring affair. The Braves bats asleep on a Friday night.
Don't ask me for advice. I still think punching in the face is the right answer.
Today is performance review day company-wide. There's been some ups and downs this year, and I think that things could turn favorably for me. I gotta say I'm a little nervous. we'll see how it goes.
Could you please pull up your self-evaluation for your annual performance review?
Yep, so I did fill out my evaluation and sent it over. So this is how I scored myself.
Okay, yeah, you need to pull up the one that Matt and I sent over because clearly there's a major disconnect here. As you can see, this is the criteria that Matt and I used so that we could score.
Did you grade yourself a 9 on a scale from 1 to 5?
Well, yeah, I mean, I highly exceeded the many expectations. Sorry, I'm still hung up on 0 and -1. I honestly thought I was going to get promoted.
Just to be very clear, you exceeded no expectations, and we don't promote people who have been drinking on our company Zooms.
Okay, so I feel like I make one little mistake.
No, actually, the drinking on the work calls happened twice.
Yeah, and you used a company card at the gentleman's club.
But at least I'll still get a bonus this year. Which, am I going to get a bonus still? Because I feel like...
You're absolutely not getting a bonus.
Okay, well... I feel like a salary increase then, because
We're actually considering decreasing your salary.
Likability score was a 3, so got to take that as a W.
The idea that you can walk into a ballpark, whether it's Fenway Park, Yankee Stadium, or wherever, and sit down and watch a game played by boys who have become men. So you can imagine yourself still playing this game, no matter what age you are. And when you sit there, the door to your past life, which occurred 15 minutes ago at the office, on the bus, in your home, that door closes and you get lost in the technical details, the intricate details of baseball as it's played out. There's always a surprise in baseball. God, I never thought he'd be able to get to that ball. That's part of baseball's magic.
Welcome back. Chris Sale goes back to work. First pitch. Frisbee slider in there at the knees. It's 0-1. Kybert Ruiz, 1 for 2 on the day. 12 home runs, 231 average. Lefty righty. Sale kicks and fires. High and out of the zone. 1-1. Same two teams tomorrow night, 7:20, and then Sunday it's noon. 12:05 first pitch. The 1-1. Swung on, hammered over to third. Good play by Arcia. He's on top of it, fires it to first. 6-3 put out, 1 down. Chris Sale at 72 pitches. If he can work a quick inning here, he would definitely be back for the 7th. You could see a path for him getting to the 8th. But he'd have to get some pretty quick innings. First pitch on the way to the right-hander. Chaparro fouls it back out of play. 0-1. Andres Chaparro 1 for 2. The 2-run double in the 4th. Nats have done all their damage in the 4th. We did our damage in the 1st. 2-1 your score. Washington, the 0-1. Down and in. 1-1. 1-1 count. Sale comes set. Brings it. Misses with the bender way out of the zone. That was nowhere near the zone. Murphy was set up inside, and he missed about a foot outside. The 2-1. Just misses inside. Good, nasty pitch. And if you got the lead on the count, he probably swings at it. But with the 2-1 count, he just stared at it. The 3-1. Swing blasted high, deep, into center field, drifting back just before the warning track is Michael Harris II. 2 away. Harris gives the salute that they do out there in the outfield. Two down here in the 6th. Braves will have the middle of the order due up in the bottom of the 6th. Ozuna will lead us off. It'll be Ozuna, Olsen, and Laureano. Philadelphia and Kansas City, they're tied up at 1 apiece in the third. Philly on the road in KC. First pitch on the way, 96 up top for a strike. It's 0-1. So in theory, you had a chance to make up some ground hosting the Nationals, and Philly's on the road in KC. The 0-1, 95 up top. That hit the zone. He didn't get the call. 1-1. All night long, Adrian Johnson's been pinching Sale. The 1-1 count. Pitch well inside, 2-1. The infield is back and to the left. Olsen playing about halfway off the bag. So pretty good hole on the right-hand side. The 2-1 pitch. Swung on, slapped through that hole that we just mentioned. And it's another 2-out single. So once again, the Nationals keep the inning going. And this has been the problem all night long. A chance to get a 1-2-3, and Vargas just stayed back on the pitch and shot it the other way. '81 pitches in. Top of the sixth, lefty-lefty matchup. Tania, the batter. Sale comes set, fires it. Way outside wide, it's 1-0. The 1-0. Sale flips it over to first to keep the runner close by. W- 1-0 count. 1 on, 2 out. The pitch from Sale. Down below the knees, 2-0. Tania 0 for 2 on the night. The out-of-town scoreboard looks like this. And the runner takes off, and Sale's got him, and he's got him in a rundown. They got him in a pickle. This will end the inning. He flips it over to first. Olsen will catch Vargas, and that'll end the inning. So if you're scoring at home, it's 1-3. Sale stepped off the mound. Vargas was going, and he is caught with his hand in the cookie jar. We'll be back in a flash. The Braves trying to tie it up.
I didn't know Sylvester Stallone was on his third marriage. I guess his first one was Rocky, and his second one was Rocky 2.
Girls, what's just happened?
So, there's an ice cream van there selling just 2 ice creams with 2 chewing gums in it.
Yeah.
For bloody £9 for 2 of them.
£9 for 2?
Yeah, £9. That is going to get nowhere. The one that comes on my street is either £1 a pee or £2. Like, he's going to get nowhere with that.
No, he ain't, is it?
No, he ain't.
That's well bad, isn't
Yeah,
it?
you should know. And he only does bloody card. Stood there with my cash. Bloody hell.
That's well bad, isn't it?
Bloody well bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, bet he can hear me.
Next time your wife asks you if the dishwasher is making a funny sound, tell her no. You sound just fine to me.
What's up, Braves Country? Looking forward to a great Atlanta Braves season. See y'all at the ballpark.
Welcome back. Marcell Ozuna leads us off. First pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. Pitch off the edge. It's 0-1. Ozuna 0 for 2. Ground out and a strikeout. Controversial strikeout his last time up. The 0-1. Inside, down and in. 1-1. So 1-1 count. Misses outside, ball 2-2 and 1. I noticed during the break we were a couple of short. Did we hit it? Yeah, we hit it. I took it down in good faith. I just assumed we were about to hit it. 2-1 pitch. Swing! That ball's rifled into left field. That's going to get down for a base hit. And how about that? We finally got something cooking here. Man, oh man alive. Offense was heating up beginning the game. It's kind of stalled out in the driveway. Good hard hit by Ozuna. See if that gets us rolling. Matt Olson will come to the plate. Lefty-lefty matchup. First pitch on the way. Outside wide. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Olson 0 for 2 on the night. Gore brings it. Swing. Hammered down the first base line, but foul. 1-1. Gore just reached the 80 pitch mark. The 1-1 count. Runner on first, nobody out. Ramon Laureano standing on deck. The 1-1. Swing, fouls it into the seats over the third base dugout. Top deck. The 1-1 count, or 1-2 count, excuse me. Pitch on the way. Swing, hits it hard on the ground. That's going to be a 4-6-3 double play. Braves continue to hit in those double plays. That'll kill a rally. So 2 down. That'll bring Laureano to the plate. He hit right into the teeth of that defense. Second baseman Vargas didn't even have to budge. First pitch to Laureano. Down and in for a ball. It's 1-0. It's a perfect example where they'll talk about expected batting average and whatnot. The one that Harris hit where it was a rocket off the over towards the other side of the infield. And it was right at the third baseman. That one I believe in. Is the first pitch on the way to Laureano. The 1-0 pitch Laureano swung on. That ball is going to get dropped in for another base hit. Ramon Laureano 3 for 3 on the night. Got to find a way to get him home. The ball dropped in front of the left fielder Wood, and Wood bobbled it a bit. Corralled it before Laureano could get to second. That was a quick dying quail into left field. Wood is so tall and lanky. I just got a feeling he's eventually going to become a first baseman. First pitch on the way to Merrifield. Swings at a bender in the dirt. Misses. 0-1. Merrifield. As soon as he swung and missed at that one, he was cussing the Lords, man. He knew he shouldn't have swung at that one. The 0-1. Gore flips it over. Try to get Laureano leaning over there. Ramon quickly back. On deck is Murphy. Laureano at first. If he gets in the gap, I say send him. The 0-1. Down and in, 0-2. Sometimes you got to force the action. So an 0-2 to Merrifield, 1 for 2 on the night. Braves trail by 1. We're still just in the 6th inning, so a long way to go. Flips it over to first again. Long way to go, but you would like to start scratching out some runs, not put it all to the end. Nationals do have a pretty decent back of the bullpen. The 0-2. Nice take, and Ramon Laureano, he gone. He's still second with ease. He timed that perfectly. I don't think it was the greatest jump, but it was that slow bender. And, it wasn't a great jump, but, man, he was in there with ease. Picked the right pitch. The 1-2. Below the knee, strike 3. Bad call. Bad call. Adrian Johnson, you should be ashamed of yourself, son. We'll be back in a flash. Braves trail by 1.
Who is the youngest player to appear in a Major League Baseball game? Look no further, this is the story of Joe Nuxhall. With many baseball players being called away to serve in World War II, the Reds, looking to fill out their roster, were interested in signing a 36-year-old semi-pro pitcher named Orville Nuxhall. The game they came to scout had Orville pitching for one team and his 14-year-old son pitching for another. Both of them would be offered tryouts, but only Joe would be able to attend. Joe would make enough of an impression during his tryout that he was offered an opportunity to travel with the team on their next trip to St. Louis. Although he made the trip to St. Louis, he wouldn't be able to make the trip to Chicago due to school resuming in the near future. He would sign a contract with the Reds in 1944 that paid him $175 a month, signed on his behalf. On June 10, 1944, at the young age of 15, he made his Major League debut playing mop-up duty with the Reds, trailing 13-0. 2/3 of an inning, 5 runs allowed on 2 hits, and 5 walks. The next out he would get wouldn't come for another 2,902 days, and wouldn't return to the majors until 1952. 14 years later, at the age of 37, he retired from baseball, with 135 wins and 2,300 innings under his belt, spanning over 16 seasons.
At the heart of this cultural phenomenon was Jackie Robinson, and in 1956 he would lead the Dodgers to the 6th pennant of his career. It would also be his last. With Robinson's retirement, Brooklyn was losing a hero, but after the next season they would lose something more. Roy Campanella would have his career tragically cut short in a car accident.
Cappy's accident stunned the whole team. When we found out he was actually paralyzed, we didn't say a word. We just couldn't speak.
Before they could get over the loss of their 2 great heroes, the borough of Brooklyn would lose their entire team. As the Dodgers announced they were moving to Los Angeles for the 1958 season. For Brooklyn fans, the pain would be both immediate and long-lasting.
When it came out that we were moving to L.A., oh my God, they went up in arms. They couldn't believe it, could not believe it. It was like losing a loved one.
Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Of course, Sale goes back out there for a 7th inning of work. Sale just 3 strikeouts tonight. First pitch on the way, swing and a miss. Over the top, Bender to Tanya. It's 0-1. Tanya 0 for 2 on the night. Sale comes set, kicks and fires in the dirt. 1-2. 85 pitches in. Figures to be his last inning if he goes the whole 9. Typically, just knowing the Braves front office, what they'll do is they'll allow him to face the 7, 8, 9. After that, he's gone. The 1-1 up top. Called for a strike, 1-2. So a 1-2 count. Reason being, they may let him go to the top of the order if he's close to getting out of it. The 1-2, swung on, hit hard. Leaping catch over there at first, Matt Olson. Good play. 1 away. Good jumping leap catch by Matt Olson. Ball was hit hard. Matt Olson, taller than a lot of first basemen. Top of his jump makes the catch, and we're 1 down. But typically the Braves don't want their pitcher to face a lineup a 4th time through. First pitch on the way to Young is outside for a strike. It's 0-1. Now, with that being said, the 0-1, outside wide, 1-1. If you remember, Call was the leadoff hitter, so Gallo has only been through Sale twice. So that's the one caveat there. They may let him hit or face him. The 1-1 swung on, dropped into left field, down for a single, and it's a one-out single for the Nationals. One on, one out. It would be about due for Bummer to come in a game. Y'all are correct. We have not seen him in quite a few days. Sale flips it over to first. Keep the runner close by. Braves trail 2-1. The 2-1. Swing, fouls it back. 2-2. Atlanta Braves have won the last 3 series. 2 on the road and then 1 at home against Philly. In that time span, winning 7 of their last 10. The 0-1. 96 up top, misses. 1-1. So 1-1 count. Runner at first, bouncing back and forth. The pitch to Nunez. Just misses outside. Bender missing, 2-1. His slider has really not had the same snap it normally does. One of the main reasons why he doesn't have as many strikeouts. I mean, typically Chris Sale, this deep into a game, as the 2-1 misses high, 3-1. He's only got 3 strikeouts. That is unheard of for Chris Sale. Got a right-hander warming up in the pen for the Nationals. Barnes, looks like he'll be coming in for Gore. The 3-1 from Sale. Misses wide, ball 4. So he's walked a runner into scoring position. Nunez will head to first. Jesse Chavez is warming at the bullpen. Gallo is now the pitcher. Now the hitter, excuse me. With him being a lefty and Wood right after him being a lefty, they may let Sale try to work his way out of it. He's at 95 pitches. Abreu's out there talking to him, so obviously they're not making the move now. But if he gives up another runner, whether it's a hit, a walk, whatever, I think they're going to have to go and get him. Ideally, you let him pitch through Gallo and Wood and get out of the inning lefty-lefty, but you're at that point where in a perfect world, Gallo hits into a double play. So here we go. First pitch on the way. Right there for a strike on the outer edge. It's 0-1. Joey Gallo coming in for the injured Call. He is 1 for 2 on the day. The 0-1 comes set. Kicks and fires. Looks like he went around. He did 0-2. So an 0-2 count. Runners at first and second. Just 1 out. Sale comes set. The pitch. Swing. Chops it foul. We'll do it again. He's thrown 3 straight sliders to start off this at bat. Gallo flew out to left his first time, out singled to right his second time. He took a slider and hooked it into right field. The 0-2. Throw down to third. The runner goes. He got him. And I believe did he strike him out? Did he not? He did get the call. I thought he got the call, but the camera moved so quick. It's a strike him out, throw him out. We head to the bottom of the 7th here in Braves country.
All right, I can't see you. Let me hear you. All one, a 2, a 3. We out to the ball game. We out to the find me something up, crack the jack. I don't care. I have to get back going.
All right, we're going to come back real quick. They are challenging it. I mean, it's close. The thing is, if you're going to overturn that, the third base umpire is standing right there. He is looking down on that bag. They're challenging it. From the blind eye, he kind of looks safe, but at the same token, he's standing right there, and it looks like he might have gotten him on the hand as he's coming in. Are they going to have a good enough view? I don't know. That's tough. They're still challenging it. I don't know if unless there's a view overhead that can slow it down frame by frame, it's that close. The glove is there. The third base umpire is standing right there with a perfect view. So to me, you have to go by what he's staring at. What we're seeing is angles of video. They are going to call him out, and that'll stand, so that'll end the inning. So, sorry for the false start. Hey, it's football season. Here comes the 7th inning stretch after the false start.
All right, I can't see you. Let me hear you. All one, a 2, a 3. We out to the ball game. We out to the find me something up, crack the jack. I don't care. I have to get back going. Root for the
Let's get some runs, Braves country. Bottom of the 7th we go. Atlanta trails this one 2-1. We're now into the bullpen game. Coming on for the Washington Nationals is the right-hander, Jacob Barnes, 34 years old, from St. Petersburg, Florida. We've seen him before this year. He's got a 3.31 ERA. Pretty good reliever off the right side. Started his career with Milwaukee. He's been in the league since 2016. He was drafted by the by the Brewers in 2011 out of Florida Gulf Coast. 54 innings, 46 strikeouts, a 1.14 whip, so pretty solid relief pitcher. He'll be asked to take on the bottom of the order here for the Atlanta Braves. Leading us off is Sean Murphy, 0 for 2. First pitch on the way, 92 on the outer edge. Called for a wide and low strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Way outside wide. Misses. 1-1. On deck, Gio Urshela in the hole, Arcia. Pitch on the way, swung on, dribbled over to short. Should be an easy play. It is. 6-3 put out. Nunez to Yepes. One away. The Washington cameras keep reviewing that last play, the challenge that was not overturned. But the only thing I can say about that is, once again, like, first of all, you're challenging something that doesn't have a good view. So something has to stand out for them to overturn it. That's number one. Number two, the umpire's standing right there. So the idea that you're going to get that overturned is a bit foolish. Urshela, 0 for 2, 1-0 count. Swing! That ball's laced down the left field line. That's going to get down where the green grass grows. Rattling around the corner, and around she goes. Gio Urshela, a one-out double for your Atlanta Braves. Let's wake up, Braves country. Looping line drive into the corner, very similar to the one that Arcia had earlier. That one stayed in play. Lando Arcia, double in the fifth, stands in. A single could tie the game. First pitch, down and away, it's 1-0. On deck, Michael Harris II, top of the order looming for the Braves. Trailing by just a run. The 1-0. Rips and fires. Swing and a miss. 98. Up top. 1-1. So a 1-1 count. Barnes comes set. Looks back the runner at second. Brings it. Swing and a miss over the top. 1-2. Arcia steps out of the box for a second. Didn't look like he used his time out there, just kind of reset himself. The 1-2. In the dirt, ball gets away. Good Lord, that ball's going to go all the way to the backstop after a high bounce. Babyface Gio heads down to third. I didn't realize how short he was either. He towers over him at third base. Gio's now 90 feet away at 2-2. That'll bring the infield in. So a little bit of an advantage for Arcia if he can just hit someone hard. The 2-2 swing. That ball's lifted into right field, going back, making the catch, but that'll tie the game. Our see you later with the fly ball, and Babyface comes home to score. It's 2-2. Good piece of hitting by Arcia. Didn't try to do too much with that. But the runner at third now, he was just trying to put that ball in play. Tip of the cap to Arcia. That was a good at bat. Sometimes you see him get out of his shoes. That was a very good at bat by Arcia. No doubt the wild pitch helped. We'll take it. Michael Harris stands in. He hit a home run to start us off tonight. Takes it inside for a ball. It's 1-0. Righty-lefty matchup. Couple of lineouts. His last time he hit a ball hard, it was an atom to third base. The 1-0. Swing. Chops it over to first. That'll be an easy play. Stepping on the bag. Well, he's got to hurry up. Harris almost beat it out. Yep, finally picked up the pace and beat him by about a half step. That'll end the inning. But out for your Atlanta Braves. Tie it up. We go to the 8th here in Braves country. Mac Magee
And we're on the same team.
The Country Club for Braves Country Radio.
And we need more players. We need you to help us win the battle against hunger and poverty. You can sponsor
Braves Country Radio.
Teamwork is what
The Country Club for Braves Country Radio.
it is all about. And that's why we need you. For just $15 a month,
Don't get greedy. Ask for $2.99.
you can sponsor a child just like
Braves Country Radio.
I've been able to really help,
Braves Country Radio.
and it feels so good. It's so easy. Just reach out now and start sending your love around the world.
The Country Club for Braves Country Radio.
If you join our team, we really can bat 1,000.
Mac Magee.
Who's waiting for help? There's room on our team for you. Welcome back. Joe Jimenez. Comes to the mound. First pitch on the way. So they're going to flip the script because we're now tied and not trailing, excuse me. Chavez took a seat. Jimenez is in. The 0-1 chopped over to first. Quick out right here. Olsen steps on the bag. What a way. John, I thought you were talking about the funny clip that Jason just played about the country club. I thought that's what you're saying. And so I told Jason to type that in. He didn't do it on his own. So I said, tell John he's a cheap bastard and tell him to mind his own business. First pitch on the way to Jimenez is down below the knees for a strike. It's on 1. After he said it, I realized what y'all were talking about. I was like, oh, well, egg on your face sometimes, right? The 0-1. Down and away, 0-2. It's all love here. So an 0-2 count. By the way, we're not going to do it tonight, but coming up soon. So we're talking about doing these Once Upon a Pastimes in the off season. We're going to put it up to the Country Club. What we talk about first is the 0-2 down the way 1-2. We'll probably do it in the next week or so. We're going to come up with a handful of topics and then ask the Country Club which topic you want to talk about first. If y'all don't know what we're talking about, Wednesday nights in the off season, we're going to be doing Once Upon a Pastimes is the 1-2. Down and away 2-2. And those are the ones you hear during the rain delays. So it's usually something about the history of baseball, a topic we dive into. But we're going to do it live so that everybody can, join in if they have questions or comments. The 2-2 swung on, that ball slapped through the hole. Good piece of hitting by Yepes. That was actually a pretty good pitch by Jimenez. It was a fastball, but it got just a little too much of the plate, and he was able to slap it the other way. So trouble brewing here in the top of the 8th. Righty-lefty matchup. First pitch on the way. Swung on, pops it up. That will not stay in play. Into the seats behind home plate, 0-1. Keibert Ruiz, now batting from the left side. You don't see that a whole lot, not just these days, hardly ever. A switch-hitting catcher like Jorge Posada is the first one that comes to mind. Yasmani Grandal, they are a rare breed. The 0-1. Swing, chops it over to third. Should be a 5-4-3 inning-ending double play. Make that a 5-6-3, excuse me. Good play by Arcia. The throw was not accurate. He's held the bag and then gunned him down at first. We'll be back in a flash. Braves, Nats, tied at 2.
Hey, I don't know who needs to hear this, but living your life to the fullest does not have to involve hiking.
I told my boss that 3 companies were after me, and I needed a raise. Which companies are after you, he said. I said, gas, electric, cable.
I'm 41 years old. I'm
42. So that means that I am older than the
Ma'am, I wrote you a citation for going.
Writing me a ticket?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you know who my father is?
Why? Didn't your mother tell you?
Duke, Pee Wee, Hodges, we basically had all had our best years behind us by the time we moved to L.A.
For a team that had grown used to success, the '58 season was a rude shock as the Dodgers finished next to last, their worst record in 14 years. And as they began the 1959 season, the Dodgers were in need of some inspiration. They would receive it in an unlikely source, their former catcher Roy Campanella. On May 7th, the Dodgers held a tribute for Campy. It was an exhibition game against the Yankees to raise money for his medical bills. A record 93,000 people attended.
All of the lights will be turned out as Pee-wee Reese wheels the chair that holds Roy Campanella. And tonight, on his last trip to the mound, the city of Los Angeles says hello to him.
They told everybody, we want each one of you to light one match. What a sight that was.
Sea of lights at the Coliseum, perhaps the most beautiful and dramatic moment in the history of sports.
It meant a lot. It was something that, we got to do. We got to win for people in L.A. We came out here and they expected us to win, and we've got to show the fans that we're still a good ball club.
Good news in Kansas City. The Royals lead the Phillies 6-2. It's really hard to believe. Now, look, I know we had a lot of opportunities. We had a lot of ducks on the pond. Didn't come through. But our personal over-under in Vegas tonight for the Braves, I was just looking it up. First pitch on the way to Soler is down below the knees. Called for low. Strike, it's 0-1. Was 4.5 runs. And we've only scraped out 2 here in the 8th. The 0-1. Down and away, 1-1. So a 1-1 count. I can guarantee you my lock of the day tomorrow on Cover Country is not going to be anything involved with the Braves offense. The 1-1. Kicks and fires. Down and away. 2-1. 3-game series. Old World. Tonight, tomorrow night, and then Sunday it's noon. And then the Braves go on a 7-game road trip. 3 in Minnesota, 4 in Philly. The 2-1. Swing and a miss. 95 blew it right by him. So Lair's bat seems to be a little slow, and you just got to figure that's rust. He had a couple of pretty darn good at bats, drawing walks in the Philadelphia series. The 2-2. Swing, pops it back up. When he first came over in the trade, we were seeing that his swing was just a touch behind, and then he started really connecting, and then he goes on the IL and it starts it back all over again. Eyeglasses is getting loose in the bullpen. The 2-2, way outside wide. 3-2. So a 3-2 count. You'd tend to think, no matter what, Rossiel will pitch the ninth, whether it's for the close or to send it tied in the ninth. The 3-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. 1 away. That'll bring Marcell Ozuna to the plate. Ozuna and Matt Olson right here with the heart of the order for the Atlanta Braves do. Marcell stands in. 1 for 3 on the day with a strikeout and a single. First pitch is down and away from Barnes. It's 1-0. Barnes, by the way, his second inning of work. He's now at 20 pitches. The 1-0. Down and away, 2-0. So a 2-0 count. Righty. Braves. Nationals. Swing and a miss. 2-1. Looked like the sinker down and in. The 2-1. Brings it. Swing. Pops it up. High in the sky, but bending into the rafters over the first base dugout. 2-1. The 2-2. Barnes delivers, and it's outside wide, ball 3. So a full count to Ozuna. He represents the go-ahead run. We're here in the 8th inning, tied at 2. Arizona leads Boston 9-2, so we're not making up ground on them tonight. Holy cow. I knew the wind was blowing out in Boston. I thought maybe the Red Sox have a chance to climb all over Arizona. Other way around. The payoff pitch. Swing. Slices it back foul. Do it again. Falcons are doing Falcons-type things. They're down 31-0 in the preseason game. But to be fair, they had their 4th string in against the Jags' 1st string in the first half. I believe it was 28-0 at the half. The payoff pitch. Swing. That ball's lifted high and deep. Going back on the track. Making the catch at the wall is James Wood. He was running out of room, maybe 3 feet from the wall, 2 away. Just got underneath that. Good Lord. Everyone in Truist Park stood up. Everybody thought it was going out except the folks there in left field. They could see it dying. Oh, my word. That was so close. Matt Olson will come on, and they are going to bring in the left-hander, so we'll take a quick break with them. We've run Barnes out of the game trying to get a run here in Braves country. Welcome back. Matt Olson stands in first pitch right there at the knees by Robert Garcia, the left-hander. For a strike, it's 0-1. The 0-1. Kicks and fires. Swing and a miss, 95. 0-2. So an 0-2 count. Olson 0 for 3. He's scuffling again. You know, right by the time you think he's going to start getting back into his groove, man, he is not playing well. The 0-2. Brings it. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Man, 1, 2, 3. Olson down on strikes to end the inning. We head to the 9th. I believe Eyeglasses is coming on to try to keep it where it's at.
Stop saying we talked. That was a interview, and you didn't get the job.
Hey, to whoever decided to only put 4 of them little muffins inside the Little Bites packages, you should count your days, and you definitely deserve jail time.
As the 1959 season got underway, the New York Yankees fully expected to win their 5th straight American League pennant. The Yankees were loaded with superstars and future Hall of Famers like 3-time MVP Yogi Berra, Mound whiz Whitey Ford, and Triple Crown winner Mickey Mantle.
Mantle hits a high fly ball to deep left center field. It's way out there. Boy, did he miss.
In crucial situations, the powerful and talent-laden Yankees were always able to break the hearts of the American League's top contenders. Going into 1959, the Chicago White Sox had a winning record for 8 consecutive seasons and had still failed to overtake New York.
It always seemed, and my father would tell me this all the time, and my uncles, it always seemed like the Sox would be within maybe 2 or 3 games. They'd have a big 4-game series. The Yankees would come into town in Old Comiskey Park. You could get 50,000 fans per game, and this would be it, the big series against the Yankees. And then they'd lose 3 out of 4 of the Yanks, and they'd be done.
The frustration of getting beaten by the Yankees was hard for Chicago to deal with. But as far as losing was concerned, that was something the White Sox fans were used to. It had been 40 years since the Sox had last won the pennant, and that pennant was certainly not one to be proud of. In 1919, the American League champion White Sox lost a tainted World Series to the Cincinnati Reds, and that team would live in baseball infamy as the Black Sox.
We have guys who actually threw the World Series. They actually gave it away. If any team should have been cursed by the baseball gods, of course it should have been the Chicago White Sox.
Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. Atlanta Braves, Washington Nationals. Raisel Iglesias comes on. First pitch on the way. Swung on, popped up, high in the sky. Over. Into foul territory. Olson will make the 1 pitch out. Catch just past the chalk. 1 away. One down. Iglesias goes back to work. First pitch on the way. Man, that's a nasty bender. Good slider. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Righty, lefty, Vargas. 2 for 3 on the night. Slaps one over to third. Good play by Urshelo. Babyface fires it across the diamond. 2 down. So 3 pitches, 2 outs. Man, if he has a really short outing, he could go out there for the 10th if needed. Two down. And Tania, who has struck out twice, comes to the plate. First pitch on the way is a change right there at the knees. 0-1. Jose Tania, 2 strikeouts and a line out to first. That was the one that Olson had to leap for. The 0-1, down and away, 1-1. So a 1-1 count. Brings it, swung on, chopped foul in between home and first. It'll roll towards the dugout. Braves 2, Nats 2. Appreciate y'all spending your Friday night here with us at Braves Country. Please like and subscribe today. We got you pitch-by-pitch, play-by-play all year long of your Atlanta Braves. The 1-2. Caught! Look at strike 3. He got caught watching the paint dry. And, man, you talk about a quick inning. Whew! Economical. We'll be back in a flash.
Tequila may not fix your life, but it's worth a shot.
I don't know who my people are, but cheers to those of us who can sing the wrong lyrics with confidence.
Meanwhile, can anybody tell me how did Brittany Garner's team finish last season?
I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, she was playing for Phoenix, right?
Yeah. They
How did they do? Were they selling out all the tickets?
No.
Is she going back to the Olympics to represent the United States?
I don't think so.
So then why the did we let her out of jail? Exactly why the was we in a rush to bring her back?
If your wife brags about sticking with you through the tough times, let her know that she should, since she caused them. After she backtalks, say, oh boy, here comes another one.
Chicago team hasn't won a pennant since 1919. How do you think Chicago will do this year?
Well, Cliff, we think that we have a fine chance of overcoming the Yankees.
You really think you can win a pennant this year if you get a few breaks here and there?
Yes.
Our skipper predicted that we're gonna win this year, and all the guys started thinking, hey, we can go ahead and go all the way. We can do things.
And as the season began, it seemed as if the White Sox optimism was well-founded, and the biggest reason for that was the spirited play of their best players, in particular, second baseman Nellie Fox.
Every winning team has a leader or a spark, and Fox lit the fuse for the Chicago club.
He was a little pepper potter, a left-hand hitter, almost never struck out.
Little Foxy has a double and 2 singles today.
I think Whitey Ford said in 12 years, struck out Fox one time, and he thinks the umpire blew the call.
Welcome back. Eduardo Salazar comes in. He's got a 1.56 ERA in 12 appearances, 17 innings, 17 strikeouts. He does have 8 walks, though. Ramon Laureano leads us off the first pitch. 93 outside wide. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Brings it. Swing. Hits it hard on the ground. Over to short. Nunez has it. Fires it over to first. Laureano is busting it down the line. 1 away. One down. Now stepping to the plate. Whit Merrifield. Merrifield. 1 for 3 with a double in the second. First pitch. Chopped over towards third. It's just going to go foul. 0-1. The 0-1. Merrifield cracked his bat. He's over there getting a new one, sanding it down real quick. Braves 2, Washington 2. Two runs, 10 hits, no errors for Washington. 2-8-0 for the Braves. The 0-1. It's now 38 consecutive, JC. The 0-1 hit hard on the ground towards the hole, but another 6-3 put out to get Merrifield by about a step. 2 down. Nunez got a pretty good arm over there. Wonder what they'll do with him long term when you consider the fact C.J. Abrams ain't going anywhere. First pitch on the way. Sean Murphy's outside wide for a ball. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Righty. Kicks and fires. Swing. Chops it foul. 1-1. So a 1-1 count. Salazar brings it, swung on, pop back foul. We'll do it again. Yeah, Travis d'Arnaud, his mom's been the word on him, but we haven't seen him since he was hit by that pitch back on Saturday night when he was taken out of the game. The 1-2. Outside wide, 2-2. If he were to get on, we would get our answer, because now that's the problem with if Sean Murphy ends up being the last out here, he'll be the ghost runner in the 10th if d'Arnaud can't come on to play defense. The 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Well, if we get to the 10th, we'll find out. We head to extra innings, free baseball in Atlanta.
Y'all, I'm sorry, but you cannot be a fully grown adult blaming your actions on a zodiac sign.
Today, my son asked, "Can I have a bookmark?" I burst into tears. 11 years old, and he still doesn't know my name is Logan.
I'm just not going to have a man's baby just to have a man's baby.
Well, this is a nice change, a generational pace.
If a man wants me to have his baby, I have 2 requirements.
As long as one of those requirements is you both actually like each other.
You're going to get a tattoo of my face on your body because it's a body for a body. My body's going to change forever. Your body's going to change forever.
And the slippery slope begins.
And my push present is either a car or a house, preferably both.
Push present? Like a gift for giving birth? Because you already got that. It's called a baby. You're going to have to find a way to crank that infant up and drive.
And Fox's partner on the infield, shortstop Louis Aparicio, was turning heads with his spectacular play.
This is the truth. Once in a while, I'm playing center field and I should be doing something, but I'd stand there in awe of a play that Louis made.
Aparicio teamed with Fox to become the league's best double play combination. And as the team's leadoff hitter, little Louis also ignited the offense with his quick bat and quick feet.
Louis, you do many things well, but I think a lot of the folks come out to see you get the jump on the pitcher and get those stolen bases.
He stole 56 bases, which was a groundbreaking number in Major League Baseball. He really brought the stolen base back into the game. Aparicio set the tone for, hey, this is what a leadoff hitter should be.
Together, Aparicio and Fox perfected the art of small ball.
Louis getting a single, somehow got the second, Nelly got a ground ball to get him a third, and I'd hit a fly ball. That's how we scored a lot of runs.
Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. Top of the 10th we go. Raziel Iglesias stands on the mound. Ghost runner in play. Jacob Young, the batter. First pitch on the way, ball gets him. Hits him in the side, and that will end the streak that, JC, I'm putting that on you, man. He had 38 consecutive batters retired. JC mentions it, and he gets clubbed in the side. Ball hit him right in the side above the belt. So they'll have runners on first and second, nobody out. 38 consecutive batters retired was the most by a Braves pitcher since the expansion era, which began in 1961. So that goes all the way back to even back when they were in Milwaukee. C.J. Abrams stands in. First pitch on the way. Down and in for a ball. It's 1-0. It's a little surprising. You'd think one of those no-hitters that a guy's next start would wrap around and get to that. But runners on first and second. Nobody out. The pitch. Swung on. Chopped foul. 1-1 count. Abrams in for Nunez. Dangerous hitter. The 1-1 swung on, chop foul again. 1-2. Abrams has had himself a career against the Braves this year. He was getting the seat because of the left-hander sale. Assume he'll be in the starting lineup the next 2 nights. Kansas City, by the way, is now 7-2 over Philly. The 1-2 pops it back foul. Do it again. So a 1-2 count. Top of the 10th. Brings it. Down and in. 2-2. The 2-2. Swing. Chops it foul off the instep. Braves 2, Nats 2. Top of the 10th. First and second, nobody out. The bad thing about this, they're burning Iglesias. He won't be available tomorrow for sure. May not even be available for the rest of the weekend. The 2-2, down below the knees, full count. So he's in a sticky wicket now because he's got the runners at first and second, nobody out. You don't want to walk the bases loaded. The payoff pitch. Swing, chops it foul again. The payoff pitch. Iglesias brings it. Pops it up. High in the sky. Can of corn. Who wants it? Merrifield will take it one away. Big out number 1. Now you set up a double play could get you out of the inning. It also pretty much eliminates the idea of laying down a bunt to get the runners over because now a fly ball, if that were to happen, wouldn't score a run. I thought they may do that with Nunez, but they instead decided to pinch hit with Abrams. Joey Gallo stands in. You got to worry about him. Low average, but he still has power. First pitch. Swing and a miss over the top. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Righty, lefty. He's been a Dodger, a Yankee. Pitch on the way. Swing and a miss over the top. 0-2. Oh-2 count. They've got him listed as an infielder on the Nationals page, but he started as a corner outfielder. The 0-2. 96 out there wide. 1-2. He's just 30 years old. It seems like Joey Gallo should be a lot older. Came up with the Texas Rangers. Then went to the Yankees for 2.5 years and then the Dodgers. The 1-2, come back to the mound. Iglesias got it, fires it over to second. It's going to be a 1-6-3 inning-ending, rally-killing double play. Eyeglasses is smiling ear to ear. We'll be back in a flash.
I'll have a burger the size of my head, please. And then if you could just deep fry that.
I'd like to invade and murder the entire world for spices and use none of them.
Armchair.
Atlanta Braves, Nationals tied at 2, head to the bottom of the 10th. Going to hit the out-of-town scoreboard while we wait for them to come back. They're in the 9th inning in Baltimore. Orioles lead the Astros 7-5. Rangers 5-3 over the Guardians. Cubs 6-3 over the Marlins in the 9th. Tigers 2-2 with the White Sox in the 6th. Royals 7, Phillies 2. They're in the 6th. Cardinals 4-1 over the Twins in the 6th. Brewers. So here's a little bit of news here. You've got Luke Williams standing at second. He's coming in for Murphy, and what that tells you is Darnode would be coming in defensively if we do not score. But let's hope we do. Gio stands up, first pitch, shows bunt, but pulls it back. It's 0-1. Man, they are coming really close. In fact, the first baseman, Gallo, was maybe 10 feet from home plate. Man, you just pull that bat back and slap it right down his teeth. The game's over. The 1-0. Chops it foul. 1-1. A's 1-0 over the Brewers. They're just going out west. Padres, good news, 1-0 over the Mets in the first. Getting started really soon. Giants at the Mariners, and the Rays are at the Dodgers. Earlier tonight, Arizona won. Blue Jays beat the Angels. Orioles beat the Astros. The 1-1 chops it over to short, and Luke Williams took off like a bat out of hell. So there was only one play, and that was to go over to first. So nonetheless, it was a productive out. Good aggressive base running by Luke Williams, and now we're 90 feet away. Winning run. Their manager Hickey's going out there to probably go over a game plan on how to pitch this now. Orlando Arcia is due up. They do have a left-hander warming up in the bullpen of the Nationals. I would think that would be to come on to face Money Mike. So the game on the line, Arcia at the plate, 90 feet away, 1 out. The first pitch, 94, just below the knees, called for a low, strike 1. It's 0-1. The 0-1 brings it. Swing and a miss. 0-2. Braves 2, Nats 2, top of the 10th. The 0-2 pitch, way outside wide, 90-mile-an-hour bender. Looked like his cutter. So a 1-2 count. The pitch on the way, down and in the dirt. Good block by Ruiz. Staying put is Williams. Braves 2, Nats 2, 1 down. The winning run 90 feet away. So the infield is in. The outfield is in because a deep fly ball would score. Of course, if he puts one over the wall, that would be nice too. The 2-2 inside almost gets him, spins him around. That came dangerously close to his elbow. So a full count now to Arcia. Man, that was close. Runner at third. 1 out. The payoff pitch. Swing, that ball's hit hard right at him. An Adam ball to Nunez. Tena. Third baseman Tena. 2 away. That ball was scorched, but right into the teeth of the defense. That'll do it for Salazar. They're going to go grab the lefty. It's up to Money Mike. We'll be back in a flash here on Braves Country. He's got a 6.17 ERA, and Luke Williams can get a big lead with the left-hander on the mound. First pitch on the way, 99. I guess that missed up top. Looked like it hit the zone. It's 1-0. Even Harris was surprised by that one. The 1-0. Kicks and fires. Down and away, 2-0. So a 2-0 count. CT says he is in Ireland. You live there, or you're there for the game? The 2-0 pitch swung on, hit up the middle. Bad throw, and that ball's going to get away. Braves win. Braves win. Your Atlanta Braves win. Whiskey for my men. Beer for my horses. E6. CJ Abrams comes on to play defense and gives us the W. We'll take it. Man, oh man alive. Atlanta Braves, hard hit ball up the middle. Hard hit ball up the middle and could not handle the hot cheese. He threw it over to first. He had time, but he really rushed the throw. Threw it in the dirt. The first baseman tried to make a play and really handcuffed him. Yepes was fading away because the ball he went to his throw side and it really handcuffed the right-handed first baseman. By the way, you don't see a lot of those for a reason. That's one of the reasons. Braves win it. It was a gritty, gutty game. Look, when you come off a big series win, like we did with Philadelphia, a lot of times you come out flat. We see a lot of teams, they find a way to get the W. Man, what a win. We'll be back at it tomorrow night. Remember, tomorrow at 8:30 Eastern, we'll be jumping on with Cover Country, covering Florida State, Georgia Tech. and all the other action in the world of football. We'll be talking Atlanta Braves baseball when we first jump on at 8:30. See you there, Country Club. A game ball, I guess we're going to have to give it to Michael Harris II. He had the home run, and though he won't get credit for an RBI, he knocked in the second run of the game. Sale didn't have his best stuff. Iglesias was pretty darn good out of the pen. And all in all, this was a good old-fashioned team win. We'll give the game ball to Harris because you got to give it to somebody, and he did have a home run. We'll see you tomorrow night, Braves Country. 7:20 first pitch for you football fans. 8:30 tomorrow, Cover Country, right here on Braves Country Radio. And if you want to follow along and chat during the game itself, it will be on Cover Country Radio, our YouTube channel, Florida State, Georgia Tech. We'll put those details up tomorrow during tomorrow's morning show. Have a great one, y'all. I got to get some sleep. It's a quick turnaround. Braves win. Braves win. Your Atlanta Braves win.